All right.
Hello, greetings, and
Hi,
welcome to
we're
yet
here.
another Riot
Been a
Posters.
been a fucking hot minute since we were here, and
And
we've got
today we'll
a
give you our full commentary on the story mode of League of Legends. Now, it's a bit strange that they just start you in medias res, where you're just in the middle of the forest and shit. So I don't know how I feel about that. What do you think? Oh, wait a minute. Who is this? A new challenger has appeared. Filthy casual. Who are you?
Hello.
Yeah. Do you have YouTube? You have YouTube or a channel or a personality?
I have a
our
YouTube channel, not a
personality.
personality. No.
Wow.
He's my replacement. I've been training him.
He's been training. And as you can tell, the training's gone off to a great start. So
Unfortunately, as
yeah,
producer, you can't leave Slur.
we are the boys who play noise. So we all watched a TV show called Arcane. Okay, Wyatt, switch lanes with me.
Arcane,
And
Wyatt switched lanes with me. That's a
Arcane
show.
season.
Yeah.
Wyatt, switch lanes with me because you will literally get
Oh, the
wrecked.
misery.
Oh, the poopy. Everyone has to take a
the
pooper pee.
misery. Everyone wants to be an enemy.
Oh God.
So, do we want to just like go right into our fucking points, or do we want to do like a?
So
little
I have a bit of a
breakdown?
structure thing for this time around because hey, we crave structure as human beings and all that jazz. So if you guys want to go ahead and get your thoughts out on what you think of Arcane Season 2 in just a couple of words without getting into too many specifics, and if there are any events that you really want to like point out as your first thing, good job, Filthy Casual, you're doing great.
Yeah, I just got a sword up my ass.
That's fine. It happens. Speaking of getting a sword up your ass, Filthy Casual, you want to start us off? What did you think of Arcane?
I
Season
thought it
2.
was a colossal disappointment. The characters were butchered. The ideas were okay, broad strokes, but so rushed and so much stuff left off screen or just skipped that it didn't matter. I think that they probably were too worried about setting up some kind of universe, and they just decided, fuck this whole season.
Mm-hmm.
The animation was nice. Beyond that, I don't have too many compliments. There's good moments here and there, but overall, it was just really disappointing.
Oh.
And every character, I think, was obliterated.
That's definitely a given. As Jake and I were watching it, is that while this show looks fucking gorgeous as per usual, the story fucking tanked.
I haven't seen such a sharp decline in quality between 2 seasons of television in a very, very long time.
Game of Thrones season 8 was my comparison.
For me, it was Shield Hero season 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, season 2 skipped so much of the books. Huge downer.
What about you, Slur? You've been kind of quiet on this.
I mean, 2 words without giving much away. Bit disappointing.
Hmm.
I think, Casual kind of covered the main broad strokes for me, which is that, yeah, very rushed. A lot of characters having their storylines wrapped up in a way that was not satisfying. To use the Game of Thrones comparison, you know how D&D thought they were going to get some fat cash Disney deal, so the entire last season, they just quick, easy, and greasy tied up everybody's plot line as quick as they could. Yeah, I think there was a good element of that here.
Yeah. And why? Well, I guess you kind of said yours.
So to get more into my point, genuinely was so sad that characters that I had, because everybody knows from our first covering of Arcane, Ninja and I, when we talked about it, we were not fans. In fact, we could say that we borderline fucking hated the show.
Mhm.
I
Just
feel like
borderline.
the Thanos meme of like perhaps I judged you too harshly.
Hmm.
Did you hate it
Yes.
because of what it did to League, or just you just didn't like it as a show?
I just So
I was about to say,
I-
actually, real quick, let's go ahead and cover that. Who here, like, what is everybody's experience with League of Legends?
I
I feel
tried
like
it once because of an ex when I was a teenager, and never again.
I feel like everybody above
I
me
have
probably.
no investment in the game at all.
Mhm.
I same with me. Like I never really cared much for the game. I knew of it, but I never played it. So my first true like actual experience with League of Legends was Arcane Season 1. And then I
Okay.
played League of Legends like for like maybe 2 or 3 games and I said never again.
So I played pretty early on, and then the people I tried playing with when I first started tried and gave me banned because I was a new player, and it was just like, what? And thus I never really went back to it since, except for when we do this stuff.
Yeah, and I think I'm the only one here who like genuinely had a really good time with the league, and I kind of immersed myself into it. Despite, I mean, this was back in the day when I still played online multiplayer games, but for the most part, I still really appreciate the game for what it is. Okay, so that being said, I decided to make a list. Now, a lot
Did you
of
check it
the
twice?
huh? Yeah, and checking it twice. It's tis the season to be naughty or shy. I don't know what I was trying to do there.
I mean, I'm
But
kind of tired this year. I might jingle only some of the way.
some of the way. The rest of the way,
Yeah.
the
Shut
rest of
the
the way,
fuck up.
you gotta pay extra for the rest of the way.
You only get like one hoe from me, to be honest. 3 is too much.
Cost of petrol is going up. We're not jingling all the way home for Christmas, lads.
Oh, shit.
The reindeer are like I don't know they're on strike. You know something about like decent working environments. You're fucking reindeer.
I mean, there actually
The-
was a pilot strike in Ireland this year, so that's actually
Oh,
kind
really?
of topical.
It's kind of hilarious. So I made a list because a lot of people have been talking about writing elements of it, like how, like whether or not it holds up. And I feel like we're all fans of Y.A.R.P here. That like they kind of like tore it apart pretty well.
Oh
So
yeah.
really no point in really going into that unless you really want to just a point that you want to. What I decided to focus on here is how well the characters are. Now, I've made a list of characters falling into 3 different categories. This is a completely subjective list, and this list is up for debate and up for discussion. That's the whole point of it. But this is my opinion on from good to bad characters who were in season 2. I'm going to start with what I objectively think are the better characters. Or sorry, I'm going to start with what I think subjectively are the better characters of season 2. And if you
When you
guys
say good,
disagree,
I assume you mean well executed, not
well
moral.
executed, consistent, intelligent, acting within like how they should act, having agency, basically anything that makes a character good. And I feel like not a lot of people talk about what actually makes characters good or not, and there's really not much of discussion around it. So I feel like this would be a better way to kind of focus this up a little bit. So I'm
Yeah,
going to
I just
start
want to
with
make sure you didn't mean moral, because
Yeah, we're gonna
yeah.
rank them by how ethical they are. Victor by the top, by the way, number one.
Jinx is at the absolute fucking bottom if that was the case.
You'd be surprised. Number 3 will shock you. So
Literally, he will shock you. That's why he's like below a couple of other people.
exactly. So the first character I believe is subjectively one of the better characters is Vander, aka Warwick. I feel like the whole and I'm just keeping this discussion centered around season 2 appearances, not anything linked back to season 1 unless like it's directly comparing the characters. But for in this regard, Vander is basically a different person via Warwick. He does have a lot of the characteristics still there, but he is essentially a werewolf tragedy story. You guys think that's a fair assessment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the I know you're still in there trope, but like
Yes.
a decent enough version of it.
I
well,
will admit
how much of Vander are we?
once again I will admit that I am this is a subjective list and I do really one Warwick was my first champion I ever played in League of Legends, and two I am a big fan of the tragic werewolf story of like I'm still in here but I'm a monster kind of thing. Like I don't know why I love that trope.
I too enjoy some skillet.
How much are we attributing Warwick to Vander? I guess would be
They
my
are. Well, I
question.
mean,
They technically are the same person.
they are
though.
the same person. That's why I made sure to say it's Vander and Warwick. So
Because if you're just gonna say he's a werewolf, then you can't really criticize him
what do you
for
mean?
being for trying to kill Jinx and Vi
Uh,
because he's a werewolf. So
well,
But yeah,
I
the
mean,
moral merit of his actions isn't what we're judging him on.
yeah,
yeah,
It's
no,
more
I
about
know.
how
I'm just
consistent
saying.
Robert.
Yeah, it'd be like, in all honesty, it'd almost be trying to judge Bucky for like the Winter Soldier type stuff when it's like he literally had no control over that.
yeah. I was about to say, like,
Yeah.
even though it is the same body, they are definitely different characters, and I feel like that could still apply to both Vander and Warwick. Because I do have a couple notes about him in the flashback, which I actually really appreciate. Like that little interaction with him and fuck was her name?
Not Violet. That was you're talking about their mom.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Tulip.
Felicia, which is ironic because
Bye, Felicia. we
We'll get
hardly knew they.
Oh wait, Baby Jinx. Yeah, I keep forgetting
No,
she has a name.
no, that's Aisha.
No.
That's
We're sticking.
different.
We are sticking to the list.
Oh, okay.
We are starting with what I believe is the best character in the show, and we're going to work our way down, like semi, like in a tier list. I will say the ones in the middle, I kind of can go give or take where they are, but like who I think are at the top and who I think are at the bottom, I firmly believe they are where they deserve to be. So yeah, I also appreciate. I'm a big sucker, and was I also look at their like adaptation as well. Warwick hunting and like coming towards the people being drawn by blood. That's actually something in gameplay that he has. Whenever he senses a champ, no matter where they are on the map at half health, if he moves towards them with a big red, like there's a big red line leading towards them. If he moves towards them, he gains increased movement speed and increased attack speed. So he's literally designed to go and hunt down people who are about to die. And yeah, and like the art style of whenever he's looking like tunnel vision, like hauling ass, it's really horrific. Plus, him straight up doing bloodbaths are pretty like metal. I wasn't actually expecting the show to go that hardcore into gore. Like it was kind of a shock, to be honest.
It does kind of feel like
Thank you.
Vander is protected from
Yeah,
any
it's
kind of criticism by the fact that he has so little control. So when you listed out the things that we would judge them for, it's like consistency. Are they
Mhm.
actually, trying to achieve their goals and not just acting brain dead? One of the things was agency, and Vander has basically no agency in the entire season.
Yeah, including I was like his second death actually made me more sad than his original death because it's
What second death are you talking about? The
Well,
very
When the
end,
last
or
memories of Vi and Powder disappear, and you just watch him actually die inside.
yeah,
Yes.
I will
Yeah.
admit he does have very little agency, being like what he is.
and that's
But
kind
Yeah,
of what
that was
kind
kind of
what
my
made
question.
him.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Like-
of course, no. Like I said, this is completely up for discussion and talk about. Like this whole point of like where I bring it up. But I still believe though that what he is like what his like story is, because like yes, a lot of those characters don't have agency unless they're actually like speaking with the person that they like, basically brings them back from the brink kind of deal. So in that regards, yes, he does have very little agency to basically none actually. And unfortunately, I'm trying to look at these characters like throughout their journey through season 2, not just focusing on where they end up, because like if that's the case, then literally every fucking character on here should be at the bottom. But
Yeah.
This is kind
Yeah.
of actually my next question is
Yeah.
how much was he ruined in season 2? I think is a different metric that'll
I
come up.
don't think he actually was ruined. There are
Neither
events
do
that
I.
there are events that like do like put him in places that would like not be Vander, but I feel like that is
I
the journey that his
All right,
like
well,
like
how do we
rebirth went
feel?
through.
And I
I
assume we're just going full spoilers from the beginning. How do we feel
Yes,
about
100%.
flashback Vander and alternate universe Vander?
okay, so alternate universe Vander, I'm treating as an entirely different character, and I'm not even
There's
fucking
I
bothering.
want to point out real quick, Silco is on this list, and yeah, there's technically 3 different versions of him.
4 if you count the
Oh.
ones that are imaginary.
Well, I know I've counted for it.
Oh boy. Oh man, I can't wait till we get to that part. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Can I just say something about Warwick in general? And this might be more of
Good.
a plot thing.
Mhm.
Is if you were talking about consistency, he rips people apart sometimes, and then just fucks around sometimes for no reason.
There
I
is
mean,
a bit. There's a bit in
the meta reason is, we want Vi and Jinx to
Plot
live.
armor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But, as far as his character, he's just kind of all over the place because we don't know why.
What do you mean by that? We don't know why.
Like when he fights Powder in the hallway and he doesn't kill her, and then he's like, "Oh, it's Powder," and then he fights Jinx, or sorry, Vi at the end, and he has the chance to kill her, but he's just growling a bunch. Like he does a bunch of shit that is not.
I would
like,
assume that's him
full-blown-
fighting.
Yeah,
I would assume that's actually him fighting against its instincts. Because remember, there's a moment during their fight where Vi like basically spits out a bunch of blood, and like he's trying to come to, but the smell of blood like actually like brings him back
also,
to like a.
I already have a kind of a complaint about that with the very end, and it's like all the Victor bots pretty much were defeated, but Warwick, Victor, Abomination just didn't insta die when they did.
It's because the
That's weird.
procedure wasn't finished. Is what I'm assuming that they're like.
I just
reasoning
assumed
is.
it's because he wasn't a normal human turned goopy by Victor. He was already an undead thing.
I would just assume that the writers kind of forgot.
Well,
No,
so
I
we
don't
have
think-
different.
I-
So we have
okay,
different we have different levels of faith here going on. Then.
Well, no, but like no, you have to look at what the story presents, and I feel like it's very well presented that like while the other Victor or so for reference, we are talking about the moment where Jace shows up in the pod and shoots Victor in the chest, and all the cultists basically die, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then
I believe that's because Victor never finished his process with Warwick. Like he was saying, it would take a lot of time, and it was going to take time to
hence
go
why
over.
when all the Victor bots died, like he was still
He went
technically
berserk
independent.
instead of like falling out. So I feel like that's what that was. I could be writing for the thing, but I feel like it's heavily implied that that's the point of that. And I feel like it's backed up with like what happens in the story and like what is said by the characters.
I thought we were talking about like in the last episode rather than
No.
lava pouring out of his body.
Oh no,
and,
I am talking about that moment.
Yeah, we are
when-
talking about that. Yeah.
Oh. But he would have enough time to like finish it though, wouldn't he? He was practically done.
So like I said, it is said by Victor that it will take time, and it's never explicitly said that he was finished with it. So
Yeah,
it's-
but
Good.
wouldn't he have time to finish after after a certain explosive child happens?
I'm sorry, what?
when
baby
Aisha kills herself.
Yeah, when baby Jinx goddess grates herself. Yeah.
So why would
Rugrats who
Victor hang on? No, stop. Why would Victor have time after that?
I don't know, because
Victor's
was
like
in the-
fucking like partially dead and thinking about other things and like literally changing his motivation at that point. I don't understand what your point is.
I don't either actually.
So, I guess when you say the procedure is incomplete, when he's in the ball, I could believe
I
that.
honestly saw that as him like resting in between sessions. That's what I saw.
that's so that I can understand that. So I can see where you're coming from that.
Mhm.
Like, because once Victor was quote unquote killed, all that was left was the raging animal from before.
And as we all know, I'm an emotional bitch, and there was one really sweet moment I liked when after the first fight with Vi and Vander, when she says he's your dad too. That kind of got me.
I could understand that. Like, the problem is like all the stuff building up to that point like wasn't earned as well as it could have. It felt very rushed.
Yeah, the few moments that are actually fairly good are undercut by the fact that they feel a little bit unearned or rushed.
That's fair.
I thought it was totally emotional manipulation.
Oh, well,
yeah.
The Suicide Kid is the most emotional manipulation.
Yeah.
Well, we'll save it.
I thought even the
Hey,
hug,
look at this.
even the hug with the whole family, I thought was just disgracefully lazy.
Mhm.
It was the equivalent of killing the dog.
The dude.
My
Like fucking
brain was-
Kingsman. Hey, look at this puppy. Isn't it cute? Shoot it in the face.
Yes, that's exactly what that was to me.
except in Kingsman, it's supposed to be a test.
Mhm.
Well, hold on. That's yeah. It's supposed to be a test no matter what. I thought you were about to say, but it just turns out to be a blank. It's like I actually hated that retcon from Golden Circle. That was stupid.
Mm. All right. So, got anything else you guys want to say about Vander, either Warwick or
Uh,
otherwise?
I
Not really.
appreciated for like a split second seeing multiverse Vander. That was nice.
Okay,
I have a question, less than an opinion. So you guys
Okay.
play League. I'm literally just getting killed over and over.
Yeah.
I heard that Warwick had a really cool design before, and they changed it for the show. Is that
No, there there is a character who did get changed. However,
Ugh.
Jace, uh, Vi, Caitlyn, Jinx, and yeah, Warwick. They all got skins that reference Arcane, but like their design has been like relatively the same.
okay? So the
Fortu-
canon change isn't the show then.
Yeah, unfortunately, Victor did get changed.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay.
I'm not
Sorry,
a fan
I
of
know
it.
nothing. So
No,
I'm not-
it's
I'm-
fine. No, dude, ask questions like discussion. I
I've
love it.
literally died, I think, 10 times at this point, and I don't even know how to move yet.
7,
But-
but it's fine. This is literally a bot game. I'm not gonna get mad if we like lose or anything. We're just having a discussion, and honestly,
I just don't like being bad at things,
That's fair.
despite my name. But it is frustrating just being incompetent.
I was just say if you want to, I could follow you around. But no, hang on. But yeah. So does anybody else have anything else to say about Warwick, the first one we've discussed in this discussion?
So, like I said, I appreciate. I got a little emotional during his like the Vander part of him fully dying.
Yeah, that
that
was a
got
pretty
me.
heartbreaking moment.
But let's see what else. I liked the sort of healing process as well that Victor was trying to get him through.
Well, we could cover that when we get to Victor. But
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I also forgot to point out that I'm basically talking about the major characters. I'm not going to bring up the Chem Barons because they literally don't fucking matter. I'm not going to bring up the fucking last minute additions to the Peacekeepers. So no Fishman Island guy. No, definitely not Vanderman. And
So
Maddie.
you're not gonna bring up the Chem Barons means that like little furry Inspector Gadget, aka literally me for real, isn't even gonna come up.
Well, you could.
Hold on.
I said I wasn't going to add them to my list. If you want to bring them up, by all
No,
means,
no,
go ahead and talk about your favorite character, not Twitch.
So I'm gonna bring this up for a split second with those fucking enforcer guys. They just weren't fucking characters.
That's
Oh,
what
they
literally I was doing. The only one who really
they
has
were
any.
set up because they looked like they were supposed to be, but there
Yeah,
just wasn't time
that's
for
why-
them to have anything to do.
That's why when
Yeah.
Caitlyn ended up like fucking one of them, I was just like, I just jokingly was talking.
I was about to
with
say,
Jake, I was like,
unironically,
I'm not even
Maddie-
a character.
Maddie had the most character, but like she's so dumb.
No,
like, oh,
her
by the way,
twist was so fucking
she
stupid.
was so stupid. Like, yeah,
There was no explanation as to why. There's no reason. It's like no motivation. It's just like, anyways, Caitlin, I'm gonna shoot you, and then Mel does her new magic bullshit,
shit, and then
and then
boom,
Maddie
boom, boom,
shoots
boom, boom.
herself
Oh,
in the face.
that
and
was
it's so
the
funny.
fucking-
It's
We laughed so hard when that happened.
Like, it was one of those things where I didn't laugh, but I was just shocked. I was like, did they seriously do that? Like, is that how they're gonna kill off this character? Okay, fine, whatever.
You have to
Yeah.
imagine it'd be weird in the staff room of the fucking Piltover guards when you have this one table of people who's like, "Hey, you remember that time we were the Avengers for like a single Saturday morning? We never mentioned it."
And then as they look at Fish Guy who's saying that, just goes, "Who are you?"
What do you mean fit?
Did
Here,
he
I'm
even
like,
have a name?
He didn't.
he
doesn't-
has a name, but it is not said at all anywhere in the show. So
It's,
you are not fucking like at
And-
you are not
He's
at fault
credited
for not
as
knowing
Fish
what that
Cop.
is.
and for the most
fucking
part, like
sheet
is
of water.
there's a good few
Literally.
episodes where he's not even mentioned like in the credits. His name isn't even mentioned there.
Mhm. So yeah, that is yeah. I feel like Vander is one of the strongest characters there. My next character I want to bring up, who, like I said, I'm going in a list from best to worst. So next
So
one,
we
in my
will always
opinion,
rank these relative to the one previous.
basically. So, and like I said, if you have fucking thoughts that this one shouldn't be that high up or should be better, let me know.
I would
Yeah.
just
But
rank it lower.
yeah, my next one is Singed.
I thought you were gonna say Silco. Like,
I
mean,
actually think Singe was one of the very few consistent characters
Yes, and that's
in
why I
terms
read him
of like
so.
how he acts, how he operates, and what his motivations are.
and
He actually maintains pretty well.
and like where you kind of get like a decently written character where his writing remained consistent, and when he gets the reward, you're actually fucking pissed because he's probably one of the only people in Arcane, like the
What
show,
do you
that ended up with a net positive.
wait? You're pissed
True.
that he wait? What? You're pissed that he got it?
That he got basically rewarded for all the horrible
Yeah.
things he did.
I am. Fuck him.
Um.
War crime pays.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
him.
Well, what?
Fuck him.
What
Yeah.
Singed?
Yeah, he's a
He
piece
he
of shit.
ruined the whole lower world. Like he can eat
Yeah.
a dick.
Like,
He
what's
was
his-
the crack epidemic, the AIDS pandemic.
Yeah, he
all
was the
kinds
he was the
Literally
CIA
played
of League of
God.
Legends.
Okay,
Literally
but can I
pretty
ask?
much
He was.
Okay, but can I
desecrated
ask this? Yes, he is a shitty person, but like he did it. He did have a clear goal set in mind, which was to
Well,
save his daughter.
No,
yeah, doing
consistency
absolutely
wise,
fucking
it's fine.
horrific things in the name of love. It was the theme of the show.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Consistency wise, he's fine.
yeah,
I just don't like it.
I feel like he embodies that like
No, that's
what
why
you just said.
I'm like, he on such a like an objective and consistent level. It's like, yeah, he's remained the most consistent and is a good character, and it's a mark
but he is
of a good character when you can be pissed and it's like, and it makes sense.
Mhm.
I do have one issue. One
Yeah?
little one. Why was he at the protest?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. I think, like, because that's supposed to show off Warwick. I thought, like, the whole idea was, like, oh, yeah, he's, like, just trying to find, like, a testing ground for all of this stuff.
Yeah, if he wanted to like bring Warwick out for a test drive, which is a thing I believe he would do,
1,000,000%.
why would he do it with him getting arrested and ending up in prison?
And why, yeah, when it's just, like, you could just go to, like, you could have gone to the meeting, thrown out a bunch of blood, and then watched everybody get torn apart.
It
So-
seems like his plan was to end up in a cell.
Yeah, that's what I was actually about to say. I feel like his plan was to get captured
I-
because the way
The
he
only way
talks
that he would
to-
plan for that is if he had read the script. Because it depends on the fucking motivations of people that he doesn't fucking know, like Ambessa.
Mhm. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he does know that people have been taken like political hostage, though. That was shown off. Oh, God, okay, I gotta address this. The fucking music videos.
Oh, so they were.
You know,
cool
fuck it. We're
until-
just I'm gonna bring up the fucking whole topic of the licensed music choices. Like, I genuinely think that like I love licensed music and shit. Like, it could be fun. The choices that were made for the show were genuinely shit.
There is a song that that tries to rhyme devil and evil by pronouncing
My
devil.
no, yeah, they were like,
I'm a
I'll show you-
devil worshiper.
I will
I'm a
show you my
devil
evil.
worshiper.
I will show you that I'm evil, and then I show you that I devil.
And it's like,
Show-
I wanted to
Hey.
just like reach to the screen and slap the person singing that song.
I hated most of the music videos. My problem
Same.
was, like, especially after like the third one, I was like, wait a minute, like one's a, what is it? The saying, like, one's a coincidence, two's a, like,
Coincidence and thrice is a pattern.
yeah,
Hey,
three is the pattern.
Real quick, Filthy, if you don't want to rejoin because if you weren't having a good time, you don't have to. Just saying.
I wasn't having a bad time. I just am
know
spamming
what you were
buttons and I don't know what's happening.
Okay,
Okay,
I was
so
just
this-
asking because if you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you want to, I can get you
And
back.
Max can just be your shadow, and this time he sets the bots to actually, like,
Well, I mean, if you notice, I did keep that fucker down. Like,
Yes.
he didn't get a chance
No,
to get
yeah.
eat at all. Like,
yeah, I know.
even when
I
he
know-
was jumping you, I was like, nah, dog, chill.
Wow, my damage was like a lot less than you guys, huh?
It's dude,
2,000.
your first game versus my 1,000th game. It's
And
fine.
my-
dude.
and,
It's
like-
it's like
and versus me, who's just like kind of just barely remembering how to play my character, and kind
Don't
of just
feel
going
bad,
off
dude.
what the game
It's-
is telling me to get.
like it will.
Don't
take
worry,
the-
I don't feel bad. I just feel old.
It's
Well, that's because you are.
I'm old. You skate.
A
You
lot
know,
of these.
I wonder if this is how my dad felt when I was trying to show him how to play Halo. and he was like, "What the
All
fuck
of
is this
Oh
game?"
man, real sidetrack. You ever try to show someone who doesn't play video games, try to play games, and like you just this or try to play any kind of first-person shooter, and they immediately either look immediately up or immediately down and don't know what the fuck they're doing?
Well,
I'll
yeah,
do you one.
they just
I'll do
don't
you
have
one.
the fucking brain software to use two analog sticks at the same time to move and look.
I'll do you one
Mhm.
better. Trying to play the Lego games with someone, and it's just like, what do I do? Break everything. Wait for the things to jump up to build the thing, move on. Especially with the earlier games where it's like that genuinely was just the pattern as to how like the level design worked. It's just like, just follow that rule, you'll be fine, and they never got it.
Yeah.
So
So did we get everything we need to say about Singed?
well, you were
Oh,
gonna go on
but
the music.
before
we were
we
on the
stop
music
that-
video tangent.
Wait, before you do the music video thing, can I just say one thing about the Singe stuff? And this is very meta, but it makes me wonder what the point of the show is supposed to be. That like every person that we're supposed to take as complicated and, you know, morally decent, quote unquote, ends up kind of shitty. And then the guy who's a total sack of dog shit gets a happy ending.
Well, no, the don't you understand? The theme like learned from Jinx was to let go.
You know, the psychotic murderer who's I think killed a total of at least like almost 20 people throughout both seasons.
No,
Yeah,
her body
I
count's
can't-
way higher than that.
I mean,
I can't-
at least from what we know that she's killed, I believe.
I can't move filthy casually. I can't move you
Yeah,
back over
you
to our
gotta
team.
move.
Also-
You gotta move over here yourself.
Yeah, as I say, I thought I could. No,
Sorry.
no, it's fine. I thought I could, but I didn't. I was just kind of baffled that I couldn't.
Also, Singed sounds like Palpatine with a speech impediment.
I kind of dig his voice. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, I like the
I
voice.
also kind
No,
of.
his voice
I
is
like-
great. I just
I
just
thought it was
question the
nice.
whole the idea of like the people who struggle with shitty lives end up with bad endings or dead. And then he's the
Yeah.
one who is like Frankenstein.
I mean that.
It is a Frankenstein thing, and like here's the thing: it wasn't shown off on screen, so it's hard for somebody with outside knowledge to be like, okay, well, he technically won. He kind of didn't resurrect his daughter. He kind of turned her into a fucking robot chick.
Yeah, that's
Which-
true. He kind of circumvented the whole.
I mean,
thing.
considering that she was dead before that, I still think it's considerable progress and worthy of celebration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
Can you throw Jinx in so I can?
I'm
pick her
trying to
up?
see if I put Vi and I was like, oh, I should just do that. But I was trying to make you guys so you have to fight people who don't have range.
Just then it's a dog fight.
No, it's a dog.
Can someone tell me like the buttons? Because I kept hitting Q, W, E, R and
So-
just
Yeah,
spam.
Q, W,
moves?
Yeah,
E,
those are
R,
your
Q-
abilities.
your abilities, yeah. If you hover over each ability, it'll tell you what they do.
This is a very mouse and like 4-button centered game.
Have you?
Okay.
Fuck, I was about to say. Have you ever played League?
Bruh.
Dude.
It's a little bit like that.
Because I was trying to move with just the arrows, but I can't move, I feel like, unless I use the mouse.
Yes, you have to move with the arrows. If you press Y on your keyboard, it'll lock
Uh-huh.
onto your character, so your camera will automatically always follow them, so it makes it easier to track.
Okay. And then can I use the attacks in a way that's like more of a melee type combat?
Do
If you have a
if
melee
you want
character?
if you want a melee character, yes. Like if you pick like whatever characters you could pick from, just pick one, and I can tell you for their melee or range. Because some
Well,
characters are like archers and gunners.
I don't mean necessarily that way. Just if I hit a button, it'll shoot or swing or whatever.
Yeah, so if Malphite, his Q is a shot, but he's a melee guy. He's pretty tough though, so you should be okay.
Okay. Well, I died about 15 times last time, so I'm shooting for like 10.
Talon is considered a harder character. I
All right,
didn't get a chance because I was trying to continue the discussion.
all
so-
right, Liam. Time for me to pick you again.
I guess I'll pick
should also
so
pick
your
Liam
thought
O'Brien.
so like yeah, going back to the thing about Singed like knowing he'd be captured, I feel like it's implied because of like what we saw in the music video, which as the tangent was just the music videos are stupid. But
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't want to detract from that. I just wanted to get that in before you guys went on to the music video thing. Because the music
Yeah.
videos, I thought, were either
they're stylish.
really
They're
on
really
the
cool.
nose or really pretentious.
I liked.
I
Just
wouldn't have
excessive.
minded them. I wouldn't
If
have
they
minded
didn't
them if it didn't feel like they were like a
telling plot.
band-aid for the fact that the show made zero time to actually do any of its world building work.
So
Yes,
I
that's
will
what I was about to say.
say.
The music videos weren't supplementary; they were literally plot
Hold
points.
on. I will also say, like, there are a few I enjoyed. I actually enjoyed the episode one where it's basically the funeral for Caitlyn's mom.
And himbled up with his banjo.
No.
Okay, so I don't know how I feel about that, considering how much I really hated that episode.
He's
Just
on the
be-
list. Don't worry.
Yeah, 'cause I really don't like the idea of characters that just accept that they're in an alternate universe. It's like,
he's on the list. Don't worry.
okay, sorry. So
Like,
I could appreciate the song. Like, so the song.
I mean, if you bothered to put him on a list, congratulations. You give more of a shit about him than the
I
fucking
literally
council.
cared more
Yeah.
about him than the fucking show did.
Yeah. How dare you care?
You know what's actually funny? You just look down at my list. Heimerdinger's not actually on here.
You fucker!
Oh no,
Oh, he's on the
relegated
list.
to side character. No.
Oh.
You have to go talk to Fish Top now.
So Heimerdinger's
I'm
song was fine. So was the song that was about Caitlyn's mom's funeral. I think
I really like the song that played when they were porking in the jizz.
that
That's we'll
that
get
was
to that.
such
We'll
a
get to it.
shitty fucking moment in general. We'll get to that.
We'll get there. There's a spoiler alert. Two characters are tied, and I won't tell you what category they fall in, but
Oh, no.
does it rhyme with mad?
because once again we are in the category which I believe are upper echelon tier characters. You know what I mean? In comparison to literally everyone else on this list, because like you guys had your issues with Warwick and Singe so far, but I would say that as we get down this list, we're gonna have more and more issues.
Oh no, yeah, they are so far like some of the most solid, or at least unscathed.
Just
Yeah.
out of curiosity, how many positives do you have for the characters as opposed to neutral and negative?
What do you mean?
We say you made
in
a
the-
list.
Well,
Who's
I'll
on
get there.
good?
I don't want to give away the list.
Okay,
I will,
okay.
however, say that we are at the last one who I believe remained positive.
I got you. Okay.
All right.
Who this number 3 may come as a shock to you, Rictus.
Who?
Is that the Giga Chad dude with the charms on his arm?
He's the black lady's
No, that's
bitch.
Brutus. Brutus is the henchman guy.
His
Oh.
name is Rictus. Why does everybody keep calling him Brutus?
Because that's his name.
It is not.
It's
His
not
name
his
is
name.
Rictus.
If I talk to someone and say, hey, you know Arcane Season 2, you know that Brutus guy? Who the fuck are they going to think of?
Well, I'm sorry, they're wrong. But to
But
be fair,
It's
to
literally
be
not
fair,
his
the
name.
fucking show doesn't say his name.
But we are talking
So-
about like the dude, the big.
Okay,
the
for
beard,
for everyone else,
the big buff
we are
guy
talking-
who is
we are
the
talking about the
Medea's
big-
bitch.
yeah, we are talking about the big buff dude, the Noxian guy who's directly under Ambessa.
The guy you felt bad for when Warwick killed.
Yes,
yeah,
which
I did
which
not,
should
but-
which should say something about his character that like you feel bad for this literal jobber.
yeah, like
No,
literally.
yeah, he
I
was
mean,
like a jobber, but he was like, one,
was
you could see why he was the right-hand man to Ambessa. Like, he's
Like,
intelligent,
he's not-
he's intimidating, he's a little
he's
bit
not-
cunning. Like, he's
He's a
actually
pretty
fun
good.
to
He's
watch.
a really good fighter. Like there are a lot of like factors in him that like kind of separated from being just a really like just jobber character. Like he's I
Is
feel
it
like he's more
jobber
than-
slang for like
Oh.
later or what?
Oh shit! Do you know what
jobber
do you know
is a
what-
wrestling term for people who always lose.
So if you ever like basically
Okay.
a character that is like fodder, which is actually what I described the fucking peacekeeper dude.
It's like a
as.
red shirt. Okay.
Oh,
Base,
yeah.
yes,
The-
perfect. Jobbers are red shirts. The characters
Yeah,
who
red
don't know their
shirts.
fucking name and they literally die fucking 2 seconds later. That's a jobber.
Oh,
Or
God.
shit, you didn't watch Dragon Ball Z. I was about to say fucking Vegeta is sometimes a jobber to show how
I
powerful.
was gonna use
Yeah.
a CS word, but I don't know what you say on your
C-
channel. So
The CS.
Yes.
No,
for
I
sucking
mean,
penises.
Oh, cocksucker. Yeah.
cocksucker.
Well, we're we're
Okay.
What,
we are very much the opposite of a
What-
Christian server. Don't feel
what
bad.
about-
What
what
about
about-
you meant cunt slapper?
Cunt
I-
slapper.
yeah,
going hard.
because I wouldn't think to like call a cocksucker like a CS. Like, I just,
Well, that's why I said for later because I was like, okay, for later is not gonna get flagged.
Hey, so
But
what coding
cocksucker
language?
might.
You know, well, I'm proficient in CS, CSS, CS plus. Like, whoa, hold on.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Hold
Cock
up,
and
hold
ball
up, hold
torture.
up.
Sucking
You're, you're,
through a garden hose.
hold up.
As supported by the Wikipedia.
man, how flexible is that tongue of yours? God damn.
So yes, I feel. Here's the thing: like, there's unfortunately not a whole lot discussed because I feel like it's universal that as character writing goes, he's pretty consistent and he's not really that bad of a
Well,
character. He's a
Not just
bad
that he's
guy.
consistent, but like if he was consistent, he would have had basically nothing to do because he's a henchman. It was
Yeah.
more than that. They actually gave him stuff to do. They had him being like an active participant in like the crackdown on Zon people. He
Mhm.
was the one patrolling the border. He was the
And-
one who would like find suspicious people and
and
be
he's
fucking correct.
the-
Like,
And
be
he was
competent
correct.
at it.
That was the crazy part. It's
Well,
like, yeah,
yeah.
no, he was totally right, and he was
He was-
antithetical to actually tracking Jinx down.
Yeah, and he was also the one who thwarted the Black Assassin, the Blackthorn people from killing
Yeah.
Anessa.
Yeah.
Amessa.
They were my favorite part of the story, and they totally made sense.
It was weird. Like I was talking to Jake as the show was going on. It's like, man, what is it with recent media and making you side with totalitarian dickheads?
It is this weird thing where, yes, obviously the political leaning of the show, it goes in one way, yet one of the better characters, like, and I feel like it's a universal thing, what I've seen with a bunch of reviewers and a bunch of different content creators, that weirdly, Rictus does get a lot of love. He is the most authoritarian asshole of the entire cast.
Well, yeah, so that's why I call him Nox, like the Noxus Giga Chad.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's one of those characters that has a super low ceiling and also a very high floor. Like, he's
What?
just gonna fall in the middle for you.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
he
but-
can't
but-
be great. He can't be terrible.
I mean, and
I
yes,
don't
I
think
he's
do.
just
gonna
like-
be your favorite character.
Yeah,
and here's the
exactly.
thing.
He's just like the loyal guy, and that's
Mhm.
what he is.
And here's the thing,
Yeah,
I
and
totally
he's good
agree
at
with you. I totally agree with you. If he was literally any other show, he would just be considered just a really fucking lame, like, henchman guy. But compared to the other characters,
Compared to the other henchmen, like the other fucking Piltover Avengers.
Piltover Avenger. Fishman Island,
That's
not
what
Vander,
they were,
and
man.
and Maddie from Lebanon is what I had her fucking listed down as.
Maddie from
You're welcome. I thought that'd be kind of
Maddie
a fun thing.
from Lebanon.
Yeah, because she's Lebanese.
Lebanese nuts. Ah.
You missed it entirely.
Yeah, I
it's
did.
okay.
I don't.
Oh shit! Sorry, I was reading the
She's a
different parts of this.
lesbian, dude.
So
Yeah.
actually, we're still in the tier of like pretty good characters. So sorry, we're still in the first tier. The next one I have here is Silco.
Ruined.
Okay.
He is still one of my favorite characters in the entire show overall.
Okay, so you say ruined, Filthy.
Yes.
Why
That's
so?
the alternate dimension, Silka. I think.
Okay. Yeah. You're right. To be fair, it's the alternate Silco. I think
Yes.
is
Oh,
It
alternate,
ruined-
like, hey, now that Vi doesn't exist, I've discovered the power
That-
of forgiveness.
Friendship.
Silco.
That
Friendship.
we
Yes,
fucking
exactly.
we died of laughter that like the world becomes a better
Okay.
place.
Say- We're not talking about her. She's on the list though.
You're on the
Well,
list.
she has to be,
okay,
like,
Chris Jericho.
Technically, she's the worst character in the overall show. She has the lowest morals because as soon as she's gone, holy fuck.
Holy shit.
We'll save it for later. But yeah, Silco. Even like I feel like his presence is still great. Like he's just fucking exudes fucking like charm and fucking like power. Even when he's just a fucking imaginary like fucking kid. And the reason why I put him so high up on this list is because he's dead, Lamau. So he can't actually
I mean,
No,
they
he-
could have.
They could have, but
ruined him, but they didn't.
they could have,
He
but they
got
didn't.
through pretty clean.
He got
Now,
through pretty close.
Much like yourself with Vander, a lot of my goodwill towards him is riding on from season 1, where he was established, and I still think he's one of the best animated villains. Full stop. I think he's fucking great in season 1.
Mhm.
He's really one of those villains where as soon as he's on screen, it's like, ah, here we go. Shit's about to get worse for basically everybody involved.
Hey, Filthy, if you want to move to mid lane because you don't have a guy up there and work next to Wyatt so you can get some
I'm
experience.
fighting for my fucking life right
I
now.
know, I see that. I'm sorry. I didn't expect them to both
Please!
go meet mid lane.
I just keep clicking buttons and attacking this tower. I don't know
Are-
what
okay,
mid lane
no, that's
is.
That's
So do
fair.
you
So the
see? So,
middle
okay.
lane is where I
On,
am.
So
on
fun
the
fact.
map.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, I see.
so fun fact. That's actually kind of interesting since you're an outsider on this. So in Arcane, they refer to like the streets as the lanes. In League of Legends, it is a core principle of the game that everybody like has a lane that they go down and has like different things. So do you see how like if you look at the map at the bottom right, do you see how they kind of like
Yeah.
split into 3 lanes? So
Uh-huh.
top is
Oh, so
where
you want
you're
me to go
going
through the
right
middle?
now.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
go
see.
with. So you see a little picture of the fucking samurai guy. Follow him and just
Oh
try not to
shit.
die.
Like,
My.
I'm defending the
Oh
middle by
no.
myself against
The
Vi.
guy in the
and-
middle fighting the 2 things. And don't worry,
Oh,
Vi's
there
there.
we go.
So Vi's there, so you can beat her up if you want to. Yeah,
Well, I'm not the author, so I actually like Vi.
I do too, and I'm sad where I'm sad where she is in this list. I'll say that. So next
Yeah.
one in the kind of good characters,
Wait,
Civica.
sorry. Before you leave
Oh, go ahead.
Silco,
Yeah,
sorry. Can I just say, the idea that Silco is so juvenile that if Vi died and Vander apologized, he'd just be good to go is disgraceful to me.
there's
I think the implication is that this is that well, that's what the writer's trying to do is that yes, if this happened in the main timeline, this would be the outcome.
yeah.
Well,
No,
okay, the
I know what
good
they're
faith
trying to do.
interpretation. The good faith interpretation is that without the invention of Hextech and the disparity of wealth growing between the two places, once on economically seems to start doing pretty well, Silco chills out a little bit, and eventually he chilled out to the point where there was a road back to forgiveness. That's what they were trying to do. It's just we don't get to see that because they did it all in like half a fucking minute.
Well, also, Silco was pissed off in the first arc of season 1. Like,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
The Hex Tech didn't come into play till Act 2.
Which means that when Vi died, he was already working with Singe to
Exactly.
flood the streets with crack and then decided to stop.
Exactly. And that's my point, is that he was
Mhm.
already on his way there. Him and
Yeah.
Vander had already fallen out. Like, there was no reconciling, there was no apology.
Yeah, unfortunately, that
And
episode.
I don't even think he's necessarily wrong or a piece of shit. He had his beliefs. Like,
Mhm.
and to
Oh, yeah.
me,
I mean, I think he is a piece
to
of.
undermine that and just say, well, his beliefs could be compromised by an apology, kind of makes him just feel like a
An
bitch.
apology
I don't know.
created by the death of a child.
I am going
Yes.
to kind of play devil's avocado a little bit here. I feel like the tragedy of losing their best friend's daughter kind of fucking put a bit on that. Once again, I'm like barely fucking trying to play devil's avocado here because I see what the fucking writers were trying to do, and it's like, oh no, Vi was the centerpiece and she held everything together, but it's like no, everyone agrees with what they saw. Everyone agrees that like you basically implied that Vi is the worst character of all time.
Based also on just, everybody knowing what it is they saw. Once we see young Silco and we go back and we see the mom and we
Mhm.
see how he reacts when she says that she's pregnant,
Yeah,
he had
it's
to go
really
back
sweet.
to raise Jinx because that is very fucking clearly and obviously his child.
Mhm.
They are clones.
I
I
do
Look at their
like
faces next to each other. They are clones.
true. I do appreciate too that little bit where like he's sitting there writing the entire time, basically, I don't know, doing his like whole Zon thing.
His
But the second
manifesto.
yeah, but basically when she said she was pregnant, I like the little thing where she was like he kind of like puts the book away and like focuses on her. Nice little
Yeah.
touch, you know.
And then
There are
Vander
good
taking the drink away. Like, I appreciated a lot of that scene.
It's a good moment. I just feel like it's kind
yeah.
of retconning. Like it's a
Well, then,
happy
no.
what if that doesn't
Well, no.
necessarily make sense, I guess.
I know the thing we were referencing though isn't the alternate universe. It's the
The dream or
flashback.
the
The flashback.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I even the flashback I feel like puts everything into question for me.
Well, I mean, that was before everything really went down though, so
Well, that was back when Vander and him were on the same side. Before Vander wanted to kind of back away, and before Silco was doubling down on no. We're
Okay,
gonna
I
do
got
this
you.
as
I got
quietly
you.
as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah. I was gonna say
Yeah.
we're talking about a different thing, not the alternate thing. We're talking about when they're
Yeah,
flashing
yeah.
back to the thing.
Even that, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way.
How so?
Just the idea that they were that close that they were like naming each other as kids,
I mean,
and he
What?
was so
wait.
ideologically driven.
That's
And-
literally
and
in
also was
I buy
willing
both
to-
of those
backstory.
things.
I was about to say, what do you mean? Like this is before
Okay.
they had the big. No, no, I'm genuinely curious. Like this is before like the big fallout between them. This is when they were all still friends. He was still ambitious. Like it's implied, it's shown that he's still ambitious and thinking about the future. But
They both were.
Vander and Felicia are both like his best friends at this point. And it is heavily implied. It's not heavily implied. It's shown in season 1 before they had their fallout that Vander and Silco were really great friends. So at this point, I don't think there's anything character assassinating about it.
They were both best friends to the point of brothers, and they were both fighting for the freedom of Zon. It was both of their dream.
Mhm.
It's just that after the war with Piltover, Vander wanted to back away and Silka wanted to double down. And because they were so closely tied together, that was an irreconcilable difference. It
Mhm.
came to
Okay.
like
Yeah.
one
No.
trying to
No.
kill
You
the other.
you guys are right. I was blending the flashbacks together.
No, that's fair, but like I said, I just
Yeah.
want to make sure we got on that topic.
No. No.
So-
You're right. You're right.
Because if that's like here's the thing, it's like that's what you feel and that's what you're doing, like that's fine. But here, like I do like it when people can back up what they say. Is all. Like I'm not telling you
No,
like,
I mean,
ah,
no,
you
no,
piece of
it's
shit,
fine.
fuck you. But I'm just saying it's like go further than that. You know what I mean? Like I want the discussion.
No,
So yeah,
I think I'm just wrong there, so it's fine.
it's fine. I still love you, buddy. All right, next one is
I
Sevica.
don't.
Well, yeah, you're.
Oh, Savika?
Is it?
I-
Yes, it's
Yeah,
Savika.
I thought it
What
was
is
It's not
Savika.
It is
Is it,
Savika.
yeah, it is. It sounds. It is Savika. I think I just said the name. correctly.
Sardina.
I'm bad with names. Fuck you, people.
Savika sounds like a vodka.
I drink
Sounds
the
like a
shit
what?
out of a Sevica.
That'd be about $10 a bottle.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Savika and Coke.
I'll take a Savika on rock, please. Okay. But yeah, Savika. I feel like she doesn't have a whole lot of screen time, but I feel like she gets a lot of like. I don't want to say that Silco was holding her character back. I feel like she was there as his henchman, and that was like her whole thing, and that's like what she wants to believe in. Silco not being there, I feel like puts
Casual, you gotta push, man.
it.
What does that mean?
No, I'm
This-
literally. He's just standing there.
Oh,
He's still
okay.
figuring
I
out
hit the wrong
controls,
button.
dog.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's still figuring out the controls. I'll help you. Don't worry about that. Don't fucking order when we're fucking playing casually, you piece of shit. Yes. So, like I said, I don't think Silco removed any of her agency. I feel like she was just fine being the henchman for him. But without
She
him
was,
around,
like independently driven because we see her talking to Vander, and like she clearly has
I
her own
don't-
beliefs and believes that Silco's the best way to get them.
So I don't believe that, like, because it's a weird ambiguous thing of like, does Savika know that Jinx killed Silco? Because
no.
There's no way.
yeah, there's
but
because
Nobody
she-
knows.
Yeah, because if she, well, not even fucking Jinx knows.
Yeah, she does.
No, I think Jinx is fucking like
She's either in denial or she's just straight up like pulling a joke, or the show is pulling a joke or two and saying like, no, it wasn't Powder, it was Jinx that killed it, and they don't know what's going on.
No, I think she does know. She's just being like this weird
'Cause-
like psychotic like fucking person. I
Yeah,
feel like
'cause if
she knows that she killed Silco. Like
Yeah,
she
'cause
feels guilt over it later.
if Savika knows, then holy shit, she'd fucking kill Jinx in a
Yeah,
heartbeat.
no hesitation.
Yeah.
And there's also the thing of she obviously doesn't know, but like why doesn't she know that Jinx was the one that destroyed the council? Because I'm pretty sure that's going to be that news is going to spread fast, and Piltover is going to spread that throughout Zon to try and get people to turn over Jinx.
What do you mean?
Everybody
one-
knows that it was Jinx who popped the thing.
That started this whole conflict.
She
by
took
shooting a
credit for it
rocket.
after the fact.
Yeah.
Also, she was the most active terrorist working against Piltover at that time because
Yeah,
was working
Jake,
for
but I'm a
Silco
little
and also doing her own
I'm a little confused of what your point is saying. Like you're saying that Savika doesn't know that?
No, I'm like, well, I mean, I was under assumption she didn't know, because if she did know that Jinx is the reason
There's
why
no
Zon
way
is
that
no
she
longer an
can.
independent nation, then why is she just so casually working with the person that essentially ruined Silco's dream?
But she didn't. What happens after this?
I'm talking.
The attack against Piltover was a part of Silco's dream until he agreed with Jace to broker for peace,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
and
about.
then he died.
But like, wouldn't
She
Piltover
doesn't
like
know that.
make that? No,
All
but
she knows is that
that's. I literally said that
Would
she probably doesn't know
would
that.
well
Hang on,
no
hang on,
here's
hang
here's
on.
a
Let Jake
question.
talk. Say that again, Jake.
No, like I literally said, it's obviously she doesn't know that Jinx would have unless Savika didn't know about the deal that Silco was.
Yeah, that's what I
made
meant.
with Jace.
Yeah,
That's what I was
she
Okay.
about
didn't
to
know.
She
ask.
didn't know the
Like,
peace was coming.
Yeah.
would
Okay.
Silco have told her? Would be my follow up
I
question.
think
I
isn't
Did
it
he
don't
have
think he had a
implied that?
chance. I don't think
No,
he
I
had,
think
he had the chance.
I think isn't it right after he talks with Jace,
Yeah.
Jinx kidnaps him.
After he decides
Okay.
to make the deal, or was it no? There was gonna be peace, but the condition was Jinx. So
Yeah.
he didn't take the deal. He's breaking down in front of Vander's statue. Is there anything so undoing as a daughter? Then he gets snatched.
But
There was no peace deal.
but then there's granted this is less about this is more or less just kind of the stupid weird plotting of this season where it's like no one's gonna try and use the fact that they were voting on making Zon an independent nation to try and get Zon to turn against Jinx.
I don't think anybody would have known that's what the meeting was being held at.
Well,
Besides,
hold on. After Piltover gets bombed, Piltover turns
Yes.
with their soldiers and being like, "We were totally gonna give you independence, guys. All you have to do is turn in one of your own, so we can continue to police you."
No,
effectively."
I'm not saying that they have like the people of Zon would have to believe it. I'm just saying that it would just be a good tactic to use. Like or at the very least have that be in the discussion, and then they could literally just shoot it down. Like, oh no, they wouldn't believe us. Not after everything that happened. Like it doesn't.
I mean, maybe
actually
they
have
would have
to
if those
work.
scenes of conversation went on a bit longer. But
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's why it's less. That's why I said it's less about. This is less about Savika, and just more about the general like rushed plotting of the entire thing. Where they don't bother to actually raise up these points and either shoot them down or implement them, and it ends up not working. That's like that, but this is more of a plot issue.
I mean, if it's gonna be rushed plot issues around Savika, I think the fact that she went from nothing to being, I guess, active in the protests and stuff, to then basically being the entire spokesperson for Zon. Like, you
Yeah,
have a lot
of
going
all-
on.
Yeah,
if
she kind of
anyone
fucks off after a certain point too.
if anyone was going to be the spokesperson for fucking Zon, it probably would have been Vi. I almost said Caitlyn. That wouldn't have made sense.
you're saying that Vi would be the spokeswoman over Zon over Savika? I don't know if I agree with that.
Savika
this-
has like at least a little bit more experience trying to like organize.
I was about to
people.
say, yeah, like Vi literally doesn't.
I was thinking more for moral reasons as opposed to the person that actively worked with Silco, who was like who would not have taken the peace deal. Like so, like I would believe that if like say Silco had not been killed and the peace would have been rejected, Savika would have been 100% behind Silco. So in that case, like on a morality standpoint, Vi, who would represent the people of Zon that just don't want to constantly fight, would be a better representative of their interests.
I could see
It's
it.
like it's like half the chat's muted now. Okay.
I mean, the issue with her
Sorry, I
becoming
just got a phone
isn't
call,
that
sorry.
she worked with Scope, the fact that she basically did nothing to get there.
Yeah, it's those are both like that's definitely an issue. I think both are bad.
Sorry, I had a phone call. What are we talking about right now?
Just the idea of like Vi being more of a like better representative of Zon's like
No.
morals than
You're telling me if
Savika.
you like, I have to pick one character to represent Zon, either Savika or Vi. I'm going with Savika because Vi is basically an outsider at this point, and anytime she does interact with Zon, it's always in aggressive ways.
Hmm.
Remember, she goes down as a peacekeeper to basically hunt down Jinx. she goes down to the fight pits and just fights.
And
literally
yet,
most of her
yeah, I was
time
going to
spent is
say,
in the top side. She's and Savika meanwhile has connections with all of the Chem Barons. They all respect her as Silco's right hand man, and she's strong enough to fucking support herself.
no, that's fair, and it's interesting that they never really that the show never really addresses that Vi essentially, like, from Zahn's point of view, would be viewed as a traitor.
Wait, say again?
It's the show never like really acknowledges outside of like the conversation between Caitlyn and Vi. Like none of the world building indicates that Zahn essentially would turn its back on Vi, considering now she's working with the Enforcers. We don't see the repercussions of that.
Yeah.
It's also weird that she would put on the Enforcer uniform since the Enforcers like
that would require a long conversation that the show was just not willing to have.
Like
Does she wear the entire uniform, or she just wear the gas mask for the fucking?
She
No,
wore
she wore a fucking uniform.
She wore the Enforcer uniform now,
and she had the badge.
If she worked alongside like Caitlyn's crew but wore her normal clothes and just had the gas mask, I think that would be perfectly fine. But her just putting on the uniform is like, okay, that's they killed it. I don't know. I don't know. We didn't really get anything on how she felt about even Caitlyn even suggesting that.
Well, we know how she feels when suggesting it. She basically is like, you want me to fucking represent the people that killed my parents?
Yes. Now kiss me because we're gay.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that yet.
And then she does, because
she
doesn't
does,
have a character anymore.
And then everybody claps.
The misery.
And everyone
what's the lyrics of the song? Fuck me or fuck me harder or some shit? I don't know. Anyway.
Who's next on your list?
Wait, did we move on from Savika?
Do you have anything else to say?
I don't have anything else to say.
I just felt like she was used as a plot point. Like they kind of just threw her in where needed. Like the idea of her working with Piltover, just no explanation. The whole thing with her arm with Smeech, I thought it was dumb as fuck.
I was actually like, we
yeah,
talked about that.
Her Jinx arm is retarded.
Her RNG Jinx arm, when it's just like, okay, so what happens?
I did like the touch that it plays Jinx's theme song.
And the fact it's made of like the arcade parts, I can appreciate elements, but the if we were to take it sort of
the idea
when it's the slot machine that indicates like what the arm will do, you're introducing a level of randomness that, especially on first use, is insanely dangerous. Like that.
That's what I was gonna say.
I don't believe Savika would keep it.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's the issue. It's like, sure, fine, useful for this fight, but I would imagine that she would like take it off or look at Jinx and just go, all right, cool, thanks for the arm, make it just do it again.
Cool, give me a proper one, you fucking psycho bitch.
Well, also, is it really even useful for that fight, or did she just get lucky?
She got insanely
hard
lucky
to tell.
because
that fight was a mess.
Yeah.
I honestly do think part of it was just luck, because it was an RNG arm. Like, I'm sure, like, Jinx, well, fuck, she's a psychopath, so I'm sure there's plenty of ways that she could have put, like, basically the arm doesn't work because you rolled wrong.
Yeah.
Well, also, just to be a little bit of a prick, my job is a construction engineer. I could not imagine making something and being like, maybe it'll work. Let's see what happens. It's fucking bizarre.
Sometimes it will explode on purpose as a joke.
Damn it, as you're literally starting Hunter x Hunter, and I've actually used an example
I was about to say, there's a character in Hunter x Hunter who actually does have an RNG fucking like thing. Don't give it away.
Can you def him for like? Can you def him for like a minute? Like
we don't need to go into it.
No, dude, just use a different example.
Yeah,
I don't know any other example other than Kite.
Well, I was about to say, we don't need to go into it though. But like, just know, Filthy, you're gonna start Hunter x Hunter. There is a character who does use an RNG weapon, and it's actually done really fucking well.
Yeah.
One of Tifa's limit breaks is like a slot machine.
I didn't play Final Fantasy VII, so I would not know.
There's the Pokemon move Metronome, where it literally chooses any move and then the entire game.
He doesn't believe in
I don't play Pokemon.
Why are you wrong?
Anyway, we don't need to go into examples. We
Can I ask like a retarded boomer question?
Go ahead.
Is
Yeah.
there a Final Fantasy outside of 7 and 14? Because I
Yes.
don't hear
What?
any of the other ones
No.
fucking mentioned.
Yeah,
Like
yes.
it's only
They don't
those two.
There's 10. There's 10. There's 10. There is
I
Final
assume there's
Fantasy 10.
15 or 16. Like,
No. There's a Final Fantasy 10. True. But there's only those
There-
3
there-
games.
No.
So yeah,
That's-
there's
that's-
also
Stop.
a 13, a 13-2, a 13-3.
A 13-4 Lightning Returns or something.
There is and
No.
I was about to say there is a 10 and a 10 too.
And then
And-
14 is an MMO, and then I think 11 is also an MMO, but all PS2 exclusive MMO.
Yeah,
You'd think
and,
after the first couple, they would have taught that guy to count.
yeah.
Poor guy.
Oh, it's even worse when you go look at like the US release because Final Fantasy, what was it, 3 for the SNES was actually Final Fantasy 6.
What happened?
I only
Wait,
ever hear
what
about
happened to
7. It's either 14 or 15.
All right, so anyway.
Which is a shame because like
No,
4
yeah,
and
we're-
9 are really good.
We're moving on from that.
All right, now it's time for the actual last one of the top tier quality, and I expect this one to be controversial.
Okay.
Jinx.
No.
No.
Let's discuss.
So
So
her
she is a
transition-
she is a crazy person. Like just I don't want to. I'm not going to use that as defense. I'm just stating that as like what she is.
Actually, I'm gonna clarify. I think my main issue with Jinx actually more is just the plot kind of bending around her, and the toddler and all that stuff.
redemption.
Like so,
The
as far as,
the toddler is a different character.
yeah,
I'm
I know,
specifically
I know.
talking about
I
Jinx.
I realize like my main issue is more with how the plot basically bends around her. That's
Mhm.
more my issue, and I don't know like her as the character. I'm not sure where I would put her, like against everyone
Well,
else.
like I said, let's discuss because obviously 'cause I literally have it in my notes in quotation marks brace for impact because yes, Jinx for what the show is, she does get a lot of plot armor and she does get a lot of what some people would say inconsistent like
an aversion to the consequences of her actions.
to the point that I think like this as one pointed out while Jake and I were just finished Arcane, there's the possibility that she didn't even fucking die.
Yeah,
If-
no, it is very heavily implied she didn't.
be that as it may, like we won't know until we know. The implication is that she just fucking dies though, along with Warwick.
But there is that like pink streak that you see that I think like happens right after. or
And
right
the,
And the
before it.
closing
end.
shot of the blimp that she said at the start of episode 1 of season 1 that she would fly in one day, and then the end
Yeah.
is written in her fucking psycho bitch script.
Yeah. So, which
It could
you know,
go
it's,
either way essentially.
Yeah.
my biggest issue with Jinx is just the constant plot. Like again, it's more plot than character, but it's the constant aversion for any kind of substantial, intentional consequences of her actions.
People are way too easy to forgive her.
Mhm.
Yeah. And her redemption, and
Kate-
that lives for these redemption being completely
Caitlyn
unearned.
genuinely should be that character after all that stuff, especially with her killing her mom. Like it's like no, I can't forgive you.
Mhm.
But as far
Slur or
as her actual
filthy?
character,
What'd you say?
I said slur or filthy. Like, what do you think? I'm putting Jinx in the category of actually okay characters.
also felt
I
She's
thought-
more
I thought she was-
consistent than a bunch of others, but there's some.
I thought she
fucking-
was
it's mainly
obliterated.
plot armor.
Yeah.
I thought she was incredibly inconsistent.
In what way?
Her season 1 ending was her committing to be full terrorist villain. That's pretty much undone by Act 1. Then
Is it?
after she's told Vi fuck off, like they're not family anymore, she walks her down that hallway. I think episode 4,
I think it
4
was
or
3.
5. 3?
Or-
Well,
What?
they
Oh,
have
are you
that
talking? Are
where-
you talking about where like she locks Vi into in prison cell?
No, that's like episode 7
that's
or
like
8.
that's like the last act. Yeah.
that's the fun.
No, I'm talking about where she wants to introduce Vi to Vander.
Oh,
Is
that's Yeah, that's
episode
like
4 or 5.
yeah, 4
That's
or 5.
4.
Yeah. 4.
4, okay. And
That's
her and Vi's reconciliation is like one conversation down a hallway. The idea of Caitlyn forgiving her, that's kind of not on Jinx totally, but
this is why I was specifically talking about Jinx the character because
Yeah.
yeah.
these other characters around her are on this list as well.
Yeah, that's
But
why
I feel like Jinx, weirdly enough, kind of holds up for what she is.
But even then, like when Jinx decides to stop being a douchebag, it's because some girl fell in her head when she had
Um,
already committed to being a
again,
terrorist.
again, plot related.
I don't think that's actually where she decides to stop. I think it's actually when Isha actually defends her against Vi, because Jinx is actually reticent and ready to basically die at that point.
I know, and to me
And a
that
lot of her
that
and a lot of her conflicts, like she actually is like just depresso expresso. Even with like the fight against Warwick, she's
Also,
fighting against him, but she is totally ready to just fucking eat the bullet.
filthy. Accept the invite.
oh sorry.
Yeah, you're good. It's fine. But like I said, more focus on the discussion than the actual game. So don't
I
worry.
know it's we got to keep a visual.
There we
going.
go.
Yeah.
No, and to me that undermines the. I lost my fucking train of thought. Sorry. Okay, I know what it was. It undermines season 1 when her and Vi meet again, and she tells Vi essentially fuck off because she's with Caitlyn, and then when she is okay because of what's her name, Ilsa or the
Issa.
deaf
Baby,
girl,
baby Jinx.
Isha.
Baby
yeah,
Jinx.
Grogu, whatever the fuck her name is.
Grogu. Yeah, I fucking appreciate it. That shit.
Well, that's why I call her Baby Jinx. That's what she is.
Like for me, the idea that she would be okay reconciling after she talks to the deaf mute girl who doesn't say anything back after
Wait, is
she's
she deaf
rejected
or is she
Vi.
just mute? I thought she was just
She
mute.
is.
Sorry, she's just mute. She's just mute.
She is just selectively mute because she stops talking after the Vi confrontation.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's just too much of she is what the plot needs her to be to call her consistent. And at the end of the day, if the show had any balls, she would have been a villain all the way till the end, and she would have fucking died.
I think I would.
I mean, that's the reality of the story.
I feel like that was the intention. I think it was originally supposed to be that season 2 was going to be the focus of the conflict between Piltover and Zahn, and then season 3 was going to be the Victor shit. So, spread it out, give it its breathing room.
That's
And
what
I think
thought
in
as
that
well.
version, Jinx would have followed through and not immediately bitched out after she got one taste of domestic terrorism.
Also, hey guys, just go mid lane. I've made all the bots go mid lane.
Yeah, I saw.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so just literally we can. So this way we can all group together and we can watch out.
Is Jace more of a tank or is he more of a?
He's a fighter slash. He can be both because he can either be a fighter up close or you switch the hammer mode and he switch towards his projectile, which is your R.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, mercenary cannon.
Filthy. Be careful going under towers by yourself without any minions because the towers can choke you.
I'll be honest. I'm just dying over and over.
That's what that big red like circle around the towers is.
I'm just getting destroyed, so I don't even know.
That's what I was trying to tell
what
you.
I'm doing. I'm just
that's why I'm telling you what to do. You don't have to.
I know,
go
but
under
I don't even know the buttons to click to not do that. So
right click to tell your guy which way to go.
Oh, okay, that's really helpful.
Oh fuck, dude! I didn't realize. Have you ever played like StarCraft or like any kind of strategy game, like Age of Empires?
No,
Warcraft,
I mostly play like first-person shooters and stuff.
God, okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't realize like this is like true your first like top-down experience. So yeah, press Y to lock onto your characters so you keep them centered, and then yeah, use the right click to either click on enemies to attack or to move in that direction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's helpful.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm gonna keep it to the bottom lines, mid lane, so I can explain all this stuff to you. So yeah.
Well, anyway, Jinx sucks my balls. So
yeah, I mean, I wish you would. Anyway,
well, I don't because she's a child. You.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking of League of Legends Jinx. Okay, there's the other thing about adaptation. I kind of fucking despise her character compared to who she is in the game, because in the show she's this depresso espresso. I hate everything. Wham. In the game, she kind of hates Pilto for being a bunch of stuck-up assholes, so she wants to just create chaos to basically give everybody a good time.
Well, yeah, that's
like, there's a vast difference between the characters in the game and the actual thing.
There's a reason why Arcane is just it's a alternate universe compared to the other Runeterra
Keep
stuff.
Keep backing up.
Is that me? Okay.
Yeah, you.
Okay.
I will say the version we have in Arcane, even when it is inconsistent or whatever, it's still more interesting in concept than just if the Joker was an e-girl.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's less about her
And look,
being the it's less her
I
being
wasn't.
it's less her being the Joker and more about like literally like more fun than actual like chaos. Because Jinx, like thing, won't actually try to kill people. That's the difference between the characters as well. She's not a fucking terrorist. Well, she is a terrorist in that she does destroy public property and all that shit. But will never do it in a malicious way. Like I said, we didn't get that version of Jinx, so it's kind of hard to talk about it if you guys don't know anything about League of Legends. So, but it's just I really wish we got that one instead. Instead, like we get, literally she is fucking emo. She's literally me for real, for real.
Uh-oh, the misery.
Oh, the Dario.
Ow.
Why?
Yeah,
Why
and
the
just to be
mic?
clear, like I wanted to like Jinx. I thought they chickened out of what her arc should have been.
I can agree on with that.
Yeah, I
Oh
could.
yeah,
say that.
And then
they
when you
completely
throw in
ripped
the
out.
whole powder episode 7, they to me it just feels like they're trying to manipulate you to be like, oh, well she was not that bad. She just had a bad situation.
Mhm.
And Echo, he's the cool guy, and Powder's the sweet girl. Like that's what we should worry about. Not the fact that she was a terrorist for a whole season.
Mhm.
And
Again,
that
yeah, that's
suddenly we
the
have time travel and multiverse travel and
Yeah, well, we're
you know
we're getting to there.
that's
yeah,
why
I don't want to jump too far ahead,
Yeah,
but
because like
all
I
of that is sort of lumped in for me with this
now,
Jinx thing.
yeah. So here's the thing. That is the end of the characters that I personally believe that are okay. We are about to get into the characters who I believe come out. All right, let me think how to phrase this. These are the characters that, despite how the show ends, because some of these characters get kind of bodied by the ending, and I will address that. I feel like for the most part, overarching as the characters, they're fine. And to get a good idea of where we're starting with that, we'll start with Victor.
Oh, sorry. Can I say one more thing about Jinx?
Go,
Sorry.
go for it. Go for it. Go
go
for it.
ahead.
Yeah.
The whole thing with her and Echo, which was supposed to be a comedic scene, also
Uh,
really turned
I
me
uh,
off.
I was gonna save that for Echo's
Oh,
part.
okay.
Because that's more of an Echo scene, really.
Oh, I thought it was more of a Jinx scene, but yeah,
Well,
okay.
because Echo has the agency in that scene, unfortunately, and that's what he decides.
Well,
We'll
I
save it.
think
We'll
you
save
said
it.
it. I think you said they both do, right? Like, I mean, Jinx is making the decisions
Jinx
independently
is very,
with her knowledge.
yeah. Jinx is very like set in her way of what she's gonna do. So I don't know if
Okay,
that's like,
okay,
yeah, you know what I
okay,
mean. So yeah. Anyway,
okay. I'll leave it alone. Sorry.
yeah. Well, don't worry. There's a lot to talk about. Like I was saying,
Yeah,
as we
but
get down more in
we're
this list,
gonna.
the
I've noticed, like,
discussion's
because
gonna get
we're
chunkier.
yeah, because we're already past the hour mark. I can tell we're gonna be here for a hot minute.
There's a lot to talk about though, because
Yeah.
unfortunately, I do have like a lot of people hate season 2. I don't know if I hate it, but I do admit that there's a lot of issues I have with it. And as we see, we only have a couple characters in the tier that I think are actually good. So we're actually going to start getting into characters we have a little bit more meat to chew on. And
Well,
that
I think the
character,
hate is more disappointment, but
yeah,
yeah.
which, like I said, like, yeah, it was just word by any other rose. So like, it's just that like yeah, like there's a
Well,
lot
don't
I
to.
mean, to be fair, I don't hate you. I'm just disappointed with your take.
Fair enough. I don't hate
I
you,
don't
but
need
fuck
you.
you.
I just think you're stupid.
I just think you're dumb and gay, and I hate you.
I don't hate you. I just wish that you would get the finest Canadian healthcare.
Don't worry, Victor. I'm coming. We'll get transported to an alternate dimension.
We'll get sorted. It's an alternate dimension to get fucked off from the rest of the show. So Victor, I like what they started with him.
I
I like the Jesus allegory where he's like the savior kind of guy, and how they try to loop it into like this glorious evolution. The cult leader thing is a little weird, not gonna lie. It felt like the writers were going, "Oh yes, this is obviously a cult, but don't worry, it's not a cult." Like it felt
They
his
wanted it
whole
to be a cult,
compound
but
thing
not
felt
be a
really
cult.
strange. Sorry, say that again, Jake.
They wanted it to be a cult, but also not a cult.
Yeah, it's totally not. It's totally not a cult, but it is a cult. But it's not a cult. Don't worry, it's not a cult, but it's totally a cult. Yeah, that's
It's a club.
Exactly. Join us.
Yeah,
You want some
yeah,
Kool-Aid?
Yeah, like it
Excuse
was
me, are
Flavor
y'all with
Aid, not Kool-Aid. Fucking Jones
Oh
couldn't actually buy,
No.
couldn't shell
Oh
out
no.
my
money for
God.
Shush.
Switch.
Okay. Yes. Whatever. Yeah. The
So
cult. So
I now just want that King of the Hill meme, but it's Arcane. It's like Jinx and Vi as Hank. It's like y'all with the cult, and it's Victor. It's like we're not a cult. We're a free loving. It's like yeah, we're here.
Oh,
no, we're a cult. So of course we're a cult. But good job, buddy. The like him like I really appreciated the scene with him trying to like save um Warwick, like I was trying to save Vander
Him
out of
trying to
Warwick
say
and all this stuff.
Vander was again one of my favorite scenes.
It's
I
really
really
well animated.
appreciated
I did
Victor's like moments before he kind of got shot in the fucking stomach.
yeah, I'm getting to there. So like I said, like it seems like he does truly care about like everything and stuff like that. He's trying to be a good person and all that. And yes, there is the glorious evolution, and it does have a very like I said, going back to the cult vibes, it does have a very like cultish vibe too, especially when like he gets unconscious and like everybody like has that like fucking horrific like dying moment almost. Like it's haunting in a way. Uh
I mean, it's a very clear sign to both them in and out of universe in the audience. Like, hey,
Something's not
things
right.
might seem like he's just a little bit culty, just a little bit Jesus-y. This shit is not good. This
Yeah.
is bad. This
This
is
is
real bad.
Um, now to God, because this is where it starts getting bad. Because up to the point where Jace shoots him in the chest, I think Victor was a really great character.
Like I said, I really liked that.
Um, Jace shooting him and then going, yes, fuck it, everyone should die.
Cowabunga, it is.
It's really weird because it's like I get it now. I see human nature.
I
I'm like,
get it.
Victor, you should
Humanity
already know.
has to fucking go.
I'm gonna die.
Like,
It's like
we must become Borg.
Victor. Hang on, baby. Babe,
We must become
sweet.
Borg.
And like so yeah, referencing the glorious evolution is technically what so the adaptation version. Victor in the game is like he's not like a crazy um weird fucking I don't even know what the fuck you would call Victor from the show, like his glorious evolution. But in the game, huh?
But
Ultron.
Whoa.
Rope.
Did Slur it's weird that he was trying to say robot and he glitched out. Slur, you still there?
I said Ultron.
No, I'm saying Slur because his mic completely fucked up.
oh, I said robot Jesus.
Robot Jesus, yeah.
I think that me.
You
Sorry.
roboted at just
Well,
the
'cause,
perfect
like,
moment.
Because I don't want to say Robot Jesus because that is literally what he is in the game. Because he literally wants to be like, "Yo, fucking flesh is
Oh.
gay.
Oh, I
Everybody
thought-
should everybody should be robots because that's way cooler."
I thought-
That is literally what
mean-
his thing is in the game.
I
That's
thought-
kind of what his thing is here too.
Well, no, because he's a weird
It's
cult
just
leader in this
flesh is
one.
gay and
I thought
emotions are
you're-
cringe.
I remember when we first talked about this. I thought you said that like if Jace is sort of Iron Man, Victor's like Doctor Doom.
Yes, but Doctor Doom isn't necessarily a super evil character.
Oh no, I'm not saying towards evil, but like the whole like flesh is gay.
I was
That's
saying
not
that as
really,
in like who they are, like as in like nemesises, where they both kind of are inventors. They're both geniuses, and they both have ideals. Yes, one is Iron Man because he's the good guy, and one is Doctor Doom because he's usually opposed to the heroes. But like outside of like the establishing things for like the characters, Victor actually has a lot more like depth to it because he first starts off as in like, yes, I want everybody to become robots because robot cool. He eventually learns that like maybe that's not the best thing for it because not everybody like will share this exact same opinion. So he does get nuance like later on. But here the way he gets that and the way he gets that nuance by the way in the game is because Jace beats the shit out of him. Like they have a fucking, they have a straight fucking like Mortal Kombat fight with a giant hammer and fucking laser beams and shit. It's pretty cool. But in the fucking show, the way he
Jace just kind of
gets
shoots
that,
him.
the way he goes full cringe mode because Jace shoots him in the chest, right? We
Right.
can all agree on that. He then gets redeemed not by Jace, but himself.
But
Yes.
and it basically retcons
Fucking stupid. Like, I
ret-
kind of despise that.
it retcons that the person who saved him was also Victor this whole
Was
time.
also Victor from like a different timeline, and then it's implied that he's done 1 billion fucking times. So it's implied that Victor's a complete fucking moron. So that's what I'm saying. Victor starts off as a really good character, and I would say he's one of the best characters. But the rest of the show kind of shits on him because it is implied that he's so stupid that he has had to send Jace back literally, potentially infinite times to stop himself.
Why
And
can't
he's-
Victor go back in time to stop
Why
himself?
doesn't he go back in time to stop himself? Be like, yo, we're bad. And then he'd be like,
Also-
oh, I'm a totally logical character, and that makes sense. I will stop doing that now. Okay, cool, thanks. All right, deuces.
But, like,
and that would be the
wasn't-
end of the conflict.
Also, like, doesn't this just ruin, like, wasn't the person who originally saved Jace, like, wasn't that a completely different fucking character? that everyone...
No. So
There was theories. It was never
there
confirmed
was
to be anything.
well, hang on. There was theories, and they were confirmed to be wrong by the authors. Like, everybody thought it was a character named Rise because Rise uses a lot of ruins. He is a mage who's basically always on the run and like hiding things, but he always does like the good for other people. So that's what he did by saving fucking Jace. So
I'm gonna
there is a like a through line that like it could have been Rise if they gave a shit about the actual fucking game.
if they were
But
paying attention.
but the writers of the show were like, no, it's not Rise. Who the fuck is that? Blah blah blah, kind of thing. It's like, and yes, like this was back during the season 1 discussions,
They
by the way.
pulled
So they already knew at that point that it was going to be fucking Victor.
So they
Is what
they,
I've been fucking. What the implication is that?
they pulled a Mephisto in WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, it was like, oh, is she under control by Mephisto? And the writers just went, who?
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
but
this
except
Ri-
for like,
Is this
except for
Rise
Hero-
that saves Jace? Who?
Yeah, basically. So yes, yeah, I really despise the fact that like Victor, who, as a character, can easily be talked to. He's willing to have discussions with people. Like, he doesn't tell Jace to just go back in time and talk to me and tell me to stop being cringe. So, which leads, do anybody else have anything else to say about Victor? Because unfortunately, this leads right into the next
So
character.
okay.
Well,
So to
I haven't
top-
said anything yet, but
Go ahead.
I thought
Go
I
ahead.
thought. Yeah, go ahead.
Hang on,
the
hang on.
entire thing with Jace and Victor was ridiculous. The
Yeah.
idea that Victor would never talk to Jace and then all of a sudden agree with him, I thought was like befuddling.
Mhm.
Because that's kind of the end of his story, right? Is that he's like, oh, I was retarded.
Yeah, I was dumb.
No shit.
Kinda.
And I just found him incredibly unoriginal as a villain. Like, I
So-
want to make everyone the same. You know, we're
We
all
will
going to
all-
be equal.
All suffering and everything will be removed.
Yeah,
I will be the arbiter
completely
of it.
lame.
Yeah,
And I know this is more of a story thing, but the idea of Echo just throwing a time machine at him and that's what converts him back to being a human.
I
What
honestly,
the fuck is that?
I think
Yeah.
unfortunately that's more of a plot issue.
No, that's what I said. I know it's more story, but it's part
Yeah.
of his climax. Like,
yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if you have issues with the story, so like, I wanted to focus more on characters, but like, if you have something to say about it, yeah, go ahead and bring it up.
no,
but
I don't want to get too much into it, but
Yeah,
until that time is appropriate, I just,
Mhm.
I don't know, like the idea of him leaving Victor, or sorry, Jace, and then being like, you know, you were emotional. No, wait, I was wrong, but I also know everything, and now I'm Jesus, and
And
you
now
should
I'm
kill
Jesus.
everyone. Like,
Uh,
I just thought it was fucking bizarre. It could have worked over 2, 3, 4 seasons in 2 episodes or 15 minutes or whatever the fuck screen time he had.
yes.
It was non-functional. Like,
There is an arc to be made there because Victor is the one to basically, even like without knowing that himself sent fucking Jason the fucking past, there is like Victor clear enough cognitive to be like, hey, can we like have this conversation? Can we talk? And this is what I was
Exactly.
gonna this is what I was
Exactly.
gonna lead this is what I was gonna lead directly into the next
And
character
that's-
because I
So-
feel like this character's dumb.
sorry,
Is
sorry,
Jace.
sorry to cut you off, but that's my biggest issue with the whole season is every idea sounds good on paper. Every single one of them was rushed
Yes.
well,
to the
yes.
point where it destroyed every character because you had to make the characters flip to make these ideas work. And
Mhm.
for me, that's where the frustration comes in. And for Victor, that's I mean, he might be the worst one. You know, worst one in
No.
the sense
Worst
that
one what?
worst
Yeah.
one in the sense that he changed the most suddenly and had the biggest impact on the story.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
Because well,
I can definitely see that argument.
his whole revelation about how it's like, okay, now I will now rob humanity of individuality because individuality causes fucking rage and anger and hatred. Three things that are all the same, part of the same coin. Because he said list three things that are the side of all that are the sides of the same coin when a coin has two sides. Retard. But
uh,
but like this is all stuff he should already know, especially considering he grew up in Zon.
Mhm.
And he'd be well aware of the conflicts that were happening within it.
I think it's more
So-
so that like he was like unaware that Jace would fall into that. But and to be fair, this is what I was gonna bring up in the Jace section though. He
so
does kind of have a point though, because when the cameraman before the flashback, it does treat Jace as a fucking psychopath.
so I would.
Oh, and also,
I-
sorry, one more thing
Yeah.
is for Victor, his whole goal was like healing and making people's lives better and whatever,
Hmm.
and then he just shuts off. Like
So
there's no transition, there's no moral dilemma. It's not interesting.
I
At
wouldn't
least
say there's no
I
moral
would.
dilemma.
Yeah, I was going to say like that's kind of what I've been trying to get across. Actually, I've been trying to say. So one of the exchanges I really appreciated was when as he's like becoming full Victor, like as I'm or like full machine type tisms. I really appreciated that final conversation with Sky, and it's like I will miss our conversations. No, you won't, because
Um,
I appreciate that as a character moment because Victor, like Jace, is obsessive. Like, because he all like that's why like he was so obsessed with the hex core that it ended up costing Sky's life in the first place. He is a very obsessive person.
mhm.
I
That's
agree
so
completely.
the idea like that him saying like yeah I'll miss our conversations, and then the person who died because of said obsession just calling him out and saying no you won't.
Well, there is an argument to be made that she actually wasn't real and she was just a manifestation of
I
Victor's
was
mind.
So
I
I
was
was
just gonna ask you
okay.
guys
I
what
thought
was your opinion on that?
I thought she was
Because
part of the hex core. Like when
okay,
Victor was merged with the hex core, that he essentially created a pseudo hive mind. And since Sky was first killed by the hex core, that she was the first personality to be absorbed by it.
But the thing is, I feel like you say the hive mind and like that Sky was like the first one to absorb. However, there's literally no other consciousnesses that we see in that hex core, and like, and furthermore, like the other consciousnesses really don't have any say in that because as we see when Victor like dies, like they all basically fucking go kaput.
That's
Like
true,
it's
and
actually and Skies actually survives that. Like I really believe that it's heavily implied that she's not actually
that she's
real.
not even
She's
real.
just basically a fucking like she's basically a manifestation of his humanity.
Yeah, and then if that is the case, if that is more of a representation of his humanity versus like the machine that's taking over, it's like, oh yeah, I'll miss you, my humanity.
Yeah.
No, you
And then no,
won't.
you won't because you think of glorious evolution takes precedence.
Yeah,
We will become Borg.
that there
Basically.
plot system. Well, not even know if this is plot system. The conversation that Victor has with Singe, where he's like, evolution has an endpoint. As Jake and I were just going, that literally is not how evolution works.
Yeah.
But it is
It-
how
it-
his
it's
ideology works.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's why he said it.
It's also just it's more from a meta perspective. It's just that Hollywood writers not understanding science.
Not understanding what? Sorry.
Well, no, even if you
Science.
do understand it, you
That's
can understand what Victor means when he says it. In fact, knowing more about evolution, how that's not how that works. Him saying it outright is him just putting his fucking cock on the table, saying, "There it is. This is what I'm fucking doing." Everything what we think about how this works, fuck that.
uh,
I've got a better one.
Mhm.
to play devil's advocate, do you guys think there's not a point where evolution just peaks?
No.
I mean,
Well,
on
the
a
peak is
fundamental
always
level,
contextual.
You're not at
Like
40k.
everything is as adapted for its current environment as it can be, and its environment will always change.
No,
You're not a
I'm
40
saying you get to a point where there's no need for more change.
that's
Literally
At
fundamentally
that
not
point, evolution
possible.
would be redundant because nothing can live in a
So
stable,
like
adaptive stasis.
I don't think that's even possible. As long as you have varying of allele frequencies and populations, you will always have change, no matter how minuscule. Change will always happen. I
There's
think it
a
is. Sorry.
no good.
It is impossible for a population of reproducing organisms to not change to any degree.
There's a race in Warhammer 40k called the Tyranids, and they are like literally the fucking like they're a bunch of hive-minded bugs, and they literally adapt to literally everything. Like if a planet has like lava, they will grow to be immune to lava. If a planet is like all aquatic, they will grow to have gills and shit like that. Like it's a funny example, but like it shows that like there's always something to adapt to, regardless of like whether it's a natural environment or an artificial one.
Mm-hmm. Like we've documented bacteria that that actually have adapted to eat plastic and nylon. So
Yeah, that was crazy.
I just wanted to ask the question as a hypothetical. I don't actually care about the
You're
answer.
fine.
Oh,
So
that's fine. Yeah, go ahead.
That's fair. Yeah, man,
I
it's
just
crazy.
thought it was an interesting point of conversation to say that, like there is a peak, I guess.
Well, I mean, if there was going to be a peak, it would have to be something like where we just transcend the needs of the flesh. We become pure spiritual beings that are fully.
Yeah,
we-
when we
fucking
become
become-
star people.
Mhm.
Those like
When we
energy
become the
beings from
star
Babylon
angels,
5.
then we will have finished.
Yeah. Yeah, like in Babylon
Well, of course,
5. What
because
are those
that's
energy
the end
beings
point. Is just
called?
actual godhood.
Yeah, I was about
Yeah.
to say like there's only so much that you can actually like evolve without like just straight up becoming like deific.
Like,
Yeah.
like was the which just fucking like of a slight tangent. That fucking movie Lucy with Scarlett
God.
Johansson.
Fucking why
up.
would you invoke
Shut up.
Lucy?
well,
Oh
we
my
use the
god!
God.
I'm gonna
100% of
fucking
our-
have an aneurysm now.
Don't
She,
do it. Don't
she
do it.
literally evolved into God, essentially.
But she becomes a USB.
I am so fucking
Because
tired.
she's only using 10% of her brain. Now she's using
Oh
90.
my god.
Oh my god.
You're making my brain use 10% of itself to not die.
It's on backup mode. It's on emergency power.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those tropes that every time I hear it, I'm like, fuck you.
Now I know that if I ever need to kill Max, my opening assassination move is remind him of the movie Lucy. And then fucking go for it.
You just fucking throw you just throw the book at me and just like, or you throw the DVD copy at me. I'm like, ah! And just like, it's like the fucking Mummy. It's like when he holds up the cat to him. I'm like, ah!
No, it's like I throw the copy, you're like, ah, and then I just shoot you. It's like, why did you just lead with the gun? He's not bulletproof. Shit, you're right.
Why didn't you start?
It's a one-off. Tosses gun aside.
Gun like shoots out like little projectile
not-
things.
it's-
Anyway,
It's not a real gun. Takes bite made out of chocolate.
That sounds like
wait,
Indiana Jones.
it was all cake.
Yeah, it's made of.
What?
It's like actually a cupcake.
God damn it.
Max, who's
This is apparently Maga Maxer.
Maga Maxer.
So I'm going to leave this game because I didn't set the password. My bad.
I'm gonna send that man forever.
No.
Yeah, he sounds like a chill guy. I'm sure he's got great ideas.
Fucking...
Ask him about the end point of evolution.
Oh no!
Just quickly type
Evolution's not real. We're only
No.
made of the image of the mighty Jimmy.
type in the chat of
No.
like
Okay. Anyway, next person who, like I said, who I think is worse than the
hold
last
on.
character we just discussed, which was Victor.
one last thing before we move on to
Okay.
I assume you're gonna say Jace.
Yes, of course.
So
But of course.
I appreciated a lot of the dialogue with Victor,
yeah,
especially
no,
every
there's
one
him-
of his lines in that show is so fucking.
him
There
coming
was-
out of the
there
Hex
was-
Core for the very first time, and he's just like, I killed Sky, you did all these things, maybe I just gotta go. I miss my wife, Jace. I'll be back.
So, and like, yeah, there's a moment where Warwick, Singed, and fucking Victor are on screen, and like, me who played all those characters is like, oh, this is pretty cool, and is like legit. I feel like these are some of the strongest characters in the show. At that point, I wasn't expecting the ending. Like I was
I don't
like,
think any of us really were.
I
was
no,
like,
I don't want to talk about that until we get there.
Before we move on, can I just say one more thing about Victor?
Yeah.
Why didn't he just win?
Oh,
Like,
I mean,
God,
he did win.
no,
He
that
did.
He's the one
plot-
who beat him.
No,
Yeah,
hold
I
on.
was about to
hold on.
say.
Hold on.
God damn it.
At the same but that also has to do with like plot-tisms because
Okay,
he
okay.
got
Sorry.
Echo. He got Echo, and then where we saw where most of the bots just touching people was instantaneous. Echo just took like 3 seconds, and thus was able to pull the fucking thing to go back even further, and then throw the time
To
machine.
go even
Yeah, well, also
further
Echo
beyond.
Echo busted some kind of time nut that was so extravagant that he was like, "Oh, I reconsidered my whole life." Like, what the fuck was the finale? Sorry,
I
that's not a
don't know.
character thing.
We'll
I-
get there.
I honestly
I
don't
know,
know.
I know.
That's actually the true reason I didn't want to go too far into the story, because I actually don't know what the fuck happened at the end of the fucking show. Like, I don't know what
not
happened.
a good
Where's
time.
Jace? Where's Victor? Who happened? What is this? Where's the
Where's-
fucking thing? I
no,
don't know. I don't know
where's-
what happened.
Where's Heimerdinger? What
He's
happened?
fucking
Oh
dead,
my
dude.
God.
Like,
Oh, he's
Yeah,
back in.
he's
New
on the
Orleans
list.
now.
Don't worry, we're good to him.
Heimerdinger
I will let you know that
Heimer-Dongered. That was absolute bullshit.
I
Oh,
will
he's
let you-
alive. Heimerdinger lived.
I will let you know that like this is like there's 3 sections. We're on the second section of characters who I think are like okay. He's not in this section.
So,
don't worry about it.
So I really appreciated like when he came out of the hex core for the very first time. I actually like the first conversation when Jace comes back, where he's basically talking through Sallow. I really appreciate like how Victor has essentially become so detached because he's formed his weird cult that Jace, who's just lost his fucking mind, he's like, we have to destroy everything. And I'm sorry you feel that way.
I mean, he does, but no, he does offer like, hey, come, let's talk.
He is like, he extends the hand, just going like, all right, clearly something happened.
Let's have a chat, my guy. And this is why Jace is under Victor, because Jace literally was given the plot by the antagonist. Now, whether or not you could say that this is Victor's fault, I feel like a lot of agency falls on Jace on how to handle the situation. Now, Jace knows that Victor is leading to the fucking end of the world. And he was told this by Victor. Now, what is one thing that Victor can just fucking do?
Read people's minds.
Whatever he
now.
wants.
He can
He's
literally
Jesus.
touch people and read their fucking minds.
And well, here's the thing. That raises a good question almost of the plot itself. Like with him saying like, yeah, I'll go back in time and stop Victor. Since that exchange was silent and that kind of stuff, was with Victor then going like, oh yeah, it was all about you. Was that what actually happened, or was that just because of the time machine bullshit?
I don't know.
Because if
Nobody knows.
Because if Victor did just genuinely say that as he's sending Jace back in time, then Jace like shouldn't be immediately hostile. If he, however, has seen the end of the fucking world, and also, I don't know why he doesn't just tell Victor, is like, hey, maybe go a different way because you're going to destroy the fucking world.
Yeah.
Like, if
I mean, the agency is okay. Whether or not Victor does all of that, but the way we see that flashback towards the last episode, it is implied that like Victor is basically telling Jace like everything. Like that's what he heard before the thing, and they decided to basically not say that to build tension for the show.
And if that's in the case, then like congratulations, Jace, you didn't listen to a fucking word that Victor said.
Exactly, because Jace literally multiple times when confronting Victor is straight up going, "Yo, bro, do you want to talk about this? We can literally speak on it." And instead of Jace going, "Yeah, bro, you sent me from the future because you destroyed the planet. Read my mind, we'll figure it out together," to my best friend, instead he's going, "No, you have to die, and I have to murder you as hard as possible." Like it's so strange that even though Jace did basically get like one of the hardest montages of like fucking borderline like cruelty
Him-
to a character. Like
him
I
in the
honestly
future, him in the
like-
future was probably my favorite section of the entire show. Because
Same.
it
like-
felt malicious to me.
oh, it was. Because fucking Heimerdinger and Echo, they just get to have a cool fucking thing. And
Yeah, they get
Jace
to
is
hang out
literally
and,
just
like,
going
the-
like, oh, my fucking leg!
My
oh,
fucking
it's
leg! Oh my
infected!
god! Oh god!
Oh.
There's zombies! Oh
Now,
god!
now I gotta eat these fucking weird lizard worm things!
Why did the fucking thing fuse with my wrist? Ah!
Ah!
He's just
So,
The
like,
man
dude,
in the
like,
future was having a very, very bad day in the future.
So-
dude, like, it just, like, honestly, it just felt so mean spirited from the writers. Like, I was just like, god damn, dude,
It's
calm
so
down. Who hurt
funny.
you?
It's, by the way, it's
Is
so
Jace
funny.
in the room with you right now?
It's so funny how the escalation.
Oh.
Hi, bye, casual. It's funny how the issues from Jace go from like, man, it's really weird that he'd just be on board with making more hex tech weapons and like after the murder of the child, all the consequences, to then it's just like that's completely overshadowed by you were basically told about the end of the fucking world and didn't listen.
Yeah. And so, unfortunately, I feel like that really harms like Jace as a character. And unfortunately, this is literally only the stuff that we see of Jace.
And Jace is my favorite fucking character.
Yeah,
in
Jace
that
is
show.
Jace is really cool. Well, he was really cool, and like he does literally nothing to tell any other character. And like I said, he is confronted by Victor twice. So the first time he talks to him, and then he smushes the fucking council guy, and then the second time is when they're in the council room, and literally Victor as like a godlike fucking
Sallow.
robot character. Sallow, yeah. But like in the second time when they're council chamber, and like Victor is like a godlike fucking badass assassin robot, literally multiple times goes, "Hey man, can we talk?"
No!
like, hey man, pretty please, can we speak?
And-
And there's literally a moment mid in the fight where he's like, dude, talk to me.
You're a
And-
monster, Victor, and I'm gonna stop you.
And then,
I thought Jace was so lame this season.
it was awful.
And especially like there's it does kind of come across as they had a vendetta against Jace because there's even minor moments. Mel coming back into the council chamber, like Jake and I were talking about this. Jace wouldn't immediately start lashing out at Mel. He'd drop the hammer and run for a hug because he's kind of been in a hell dimension for God
But he
knows
doesn't,
how long.
he doesn't want to talk about it.
But and like he murdered his best friend. Like he thought he
Yeah, he
by
thought.
that
Yeah,
point,
he's
killed
just
Victor.
recovering. Yeah, this is after he fucking shoots Victor.
So,
So
his first reaction to all of this is sees Mel, you bitch.
You stupid bitch! You don't
you
know.
you turned me against me.
When it's
Do you
He
guys
did-
remember how much Jace missed Heimerdinger? He
What do
was
you mean?
really sad that he was gone.
Oh no.
he didn't, yeah, like no acknowledgement from Heimerdinger at
Yeah.
all. Yeah, Jace
Yeah, the,
and Echo.
the fact that Heimerdinger was literally written out of the like he wasn't killed, he was written out of the show. Like it's like post his death, he's just gone. Like he doesn't
Actually,
have
yeah.
any. He has
Hold on.
nothing in the show at all.
on a slight tangent, just a quick question: where's Mel on your list? Actually,
Don't worry.
Is she?
Thank you.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Because
I want to
I-
point
I-
out
With that question, that was the shit I
Also-
said in my video.
also,
I was like,
Casual, you
Mel
got
and
another
Jace were a
invite.
couple, like political or not, and both of them were like, meh, fuck it.
Mel
we got better shit
Mel,
to do.
Mel was
Mel's,
willing
we
to
got
leave
lesbians
Noctis.
now. We don't need this shit.
No,
yeah,
no,
Mel's somewhere on the list. Don't worry, we'll bring her up because like I have a lot to say about
Well,
her
that's
too.
why I got so pissed with like the sees Mel, you bitch, and it's like
Well,
Jace,
since you're
Mel
since
was
you're
willing-
since you're
was willing
being
to-
mean, I'm gonna talk about myself now. Don't worry, I'm gonna talk about her when we get there.
well, no, I was more just talking about like as their relationship for a moment, and how that conversation
fucking
makes no
disappeared.
sense considering like again, Mel was willing to leave Noctis. Like there's that shot
Noctis.
of Ambessa just looking at that painting that Mel was making throughout all of season 1, and she just scratched the shit out of it.
Mhm.
And
Well-
their
well-
relationship is essentially nowhere to be fucking seen.
In defense of the show, I wouldn't say she was willing to leave Noxa or
Noxus.
Noxus. Sorry, she.
Noxus.
You have a good voice.
Thank
She chose to. Like she, had her tantrum. She was doing her thing, and then her mom showed up. But good. Sorry, I want to interrupt, but I just
Yeah,
wanted
fine.
to clarify. It
we're-
didn't
we're-
feel like she was reluctant. It felt like it was her thing because she was embracing it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll get to her when we get to her. But I will say, Wyatt, we're on category 2. She's not in this category.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So we'll get there.
Well,
Are we talking about hurricanes or?
We're talking about.
This-
No, we're talking about sections of. We're talking about different sections of the buffet.
Shut up. Get back.
but
Get back in the
speaking-
lobby, casual.
But yeah, what the fuck? We're waiting on you to get in the lobby, bitch. Anyway,
Tell me what
you
button to
joined.
click.
You joined.
I
You
clicked
joined and
all the
then
check
left.
marks. God damn it!
Yeah, you joined and left. So I was like, okay, I guess he's peeing
Hey,
or something.
all I keep clicking check marks and then
And then you
nothing
left.
happens.
God damn it!
Stop clicking things.
So sorry,
Okay.
sorry if we're backtracking just a little bit, but like
Okay.
it occurred to me.
If you got,
I will not forgive you.
Okay, but it'll
How
be
dare
really
you.
quick. It'll be really quick. Just
go ahead.
it doesn't have to be.
Good.
So it is going back to Victor, but it's future Victor. So when Jace sees future Victor for the first time, why doesn't future Victor just go, "Oh hey Jace, I brought you here. Anyways, I'm gonna just send you back in time." And then
Yeah, like why make him fucking actually almost die multiple
Yeah,
times?
yeah.
Why did
That's fair. I actually didn't think of that.
you think future Victor, when he sees the hammer land on Chase's leg, he's like, ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah,
geez,
he-
All according to Keikaku.
Because
boys.
like he could either just not tell him anything and just send him back to where it's like Jace isn't a fucking complete mentally broken psychopath and is not seen the entirety of what Victor had done, or Victor could just go, okay, hold on, and we need you to think rationally here for a second. Okay, when you go back in time, talk to me, be my friend, goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay,
But once again, but Victor of this timeline does try to do that, and
I know.
then fucking Jace is like,
You caused the end of the world.
and which I said in my notes, it's yeah, the fucking inventor Clark Kent Iron Man crossover that Jace is in the game, yeah, it's so divorced, and like I said, it's one of those things that just hurts because it's the adaptation thing.
That's why we can be glad that it's a separate universe.
So this one, it's funny how I actually don't feel like he should be in this category now that we've actually been having this conversation. But the last character in this category is Echo.
So Echo essentially is one of the bigger victims of the plot, because he's essentially told by being in the alternate universe by opposite Silco and Vander that it'd just be better if you just said you're sorry and forgive and shit. And that then applies to Jinx, who, by the way, the last time they met, he was beating her to death on the bridge.
But he stopped.
There is this hey, come mid lane, buddy. There is this thing. Go into the middle of the map.
Gabby.
Oh.
Is somebody just playing for you? All right.
Sure.
But that's where I think Echo is kind of held hostage by the plot for a good bit.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: I don't necessarily think that that necessarily hurts his character. It's more so this is his character. Unfortunately, his character is being forced to react to things as to actually have any kind of agency. I forgot to mention it because now they're actually tied together. I did really once again trying to be as charitable as possible to characters I think are okay. I did really appreciate the conversation between him and Jace trying to explain how runes work and how he goes, okay, throw me a tome, pass me a tome, and then oh, you sighed, you know what I mean? I really appreciated that as an explanation of what runes were, and it was a nice little feature of it. Fortunately, it's really all I got good to say about Jace for that season. So yeah, Echo, and like this will lead into the whole discussion of the other fucking timeline, which yeah, once again, like it's implied that Vi is like the canon event of the fucking universe,
Yeah.
which man, that's what did the developers mean by this?
Wait, what did they mean by this? Are you saying that less gay people means the world is better?
And like I said, I'm using this as a water point to talk about the things, but like I really despise that in that like alternate universe, they don't actually say what's going on with Victor and fucking Jace. We're just assuming that Victor died of his disease and Jace just killed himself because he lost his marbles.
No,
Literally.
if I had to assume, like this is definitely headcanon-y nonsense. That Vi and Jace both died in that explosion.
Or
The-
Jace died on top of that mountain, and like the guy that did
No, because they were going to go steal the fucking hex thing.
Yeah, that's
No,
why I'm
no, I'm sa-
that's
no.
why I'm like the explosion must have killed him too, and then the writers didn't give
No,
a
hang
fuck.
on, wait,
No, I'm
Jake,
just
what are
saying
you
that-
talking about?
if I'm remembering season 1 correct, so correct me if I'm wrong. Jace, when he was a child, wasn't he like stranded in like on a mountain in a blizzard?
Yeah,
and, like,
but
magic
that's
saved
way
him?
past. But that's way past
Yeah,
this point
that
in the
would have
story.
had to have
No.
still happened for the hex cores to still be there to steal.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just assuming that maybe he just died as a child.
No, because remember the whole point of them going to go steal something was Jace's invention.
God damn you!
Love you.
Stole my fuck as I've been killing Vi nonstop as Caitlyn.
I know.
You've just been dying domestic violence.
Hey man, it is true about the Lebanese, I guess.
It is. It is. They have. Anyways.
Anyway, so Echo, despite all of the crazy stuff going on with this timeline shit and like
I like that he's more
all the stuff.
proactive on wanting to get home.
Say what?
I like that he's more proactive on wanting to get home.
And here's the thing: people are like, "Oh, like why would he be tempted to this? He knows he's got a world." It's like I could totally buy it that like yes, in a idealistic world that he's trapped in, I could totally buy that he is like feeling the temptation to want to stay. Like I feel like that's anyone who says anything against that, I don't know like if they're working in good faith or not. And ultimately, he does choose to go back, but there is the temptation to stay in this world.
Understandable temptation.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
world where
just-
literally everything is better.
Yeah.
Because
It
Vi
is- it
died.
is-
And he doesn't have
It-
to fight anymore. Like that's the thing is like
it-
a person like doesn't want to fight for their entire life.
It is strange though that like he either he doesn't know this is how it works, or well he should, but like that he's effectively taking over another person's body and he's just kind of just rolling with it. And
I
kind of
don't
not
I
necessarily
don't know
okay
if
with
he's
it.
okay with it.
It would be nice to have some lines of dialogue where he just looks at Heimerdinger, who I know we'll get to soon enough, where he just kind of goes, anyways, we're literally in other people's bodies hijacking their lives. We need to get out of here as fast as possible.
Well, that's why I like plot wise. I actually kind of appreciated that when Echo is like, "I'm out of here, bitch." The Echo of this world is just like outside of the little portal thing. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm done inhabiting your body. Thanks, pal.
And then
Like,
Yeah, it was a really
I
weird
didn't mean
implication. I don't
to,
know if the
but-
fucking writers thought about that, but it is weird how like it is like now they're separate people. Why'd you do that?
yeah, because our Echo was inhabiting that Echo's body when he entered that timeline, which is
I
like,
know, but I'm saying like
horrible.
there should be no logical reason why we see two echoes. It's like
oh right, yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
like there should be
Yeah.
no reason to see that, especially
What-
because like Jinx is Powder is looking directly at like our timeline Echo, and
Yeah,
it's
like,
like yeah, she could
the
totally
second-
see it.
The second
Yeah,
he
you
time
good?
traveled,
Like
there.
you
Can you guys hear me?
yeah, you like
Yeah.
disappeared for a second. You good?
Okay. No, I went to the bathroom.
Okay,
Okay, next again. Okay.
but like the second our Echo disappears when he like goes to his own universe, like you see like a flash of light in this universe, Echo just collapses to the ground or something.
Mhm. So we're on Echo now. Filthy Casual, got anything to say?
Oh my god.
Just
a-
about his character. Remember.
Well, besides the fact that he's a bitch. Um,
It-
True.
no, I thought that
got anything substantive there?
I thought his whole arc was fan service. Like the idea of him and Powder being a couple.
Yeah, the whole ship thing.
Yes, to me felt
Shipping in general has ruined this fucking show.
We'll get to that.
it,
Yeah,
it just
don't worry,
felt
there's a reason why two characters are tied. Lamau.
it just felt manipulative to me. Like it felt like that whole episode I felt was like a waste of time. I mean, maybe people disagree. They were all like, "Oh, it inspired him." Whatever. I don't really care. I
I
I
think
I
the
thought
only
I thought it was gross. I thought it was indulgent, and it just wanted to make you guilt. Like, it wanted to guilt trip you into liking him and Powder being together, so that anything that he did with Jinx would be justified. And I thought it was lazy. I thought it was undeveloped. And at the end of the day, his climax, which is, the climax of the show, I thought was retarded. And no one can explain it to me without doing their own writing.
Mhm.
So the fact that him and Vi had no scenes, I also thought was ridiculous.
Yeah, because she's dead. Well,
Well, I mean, the world's a better place, clearly.
yeah, the world's
But-
way better. Like we were all happy. Literally, Silco baked cookies.
I mean,
ding dong! Oh God, Vi's dead
his
now.
entire thing, I thought was fan service in the worst regard. So
I totally see that. Like, yeah, like trying to
Yeah.
like literally, it's like point of shipping. It is a really
Yes.
cute episode.
sorry
like,
to be a downer on the stream, but
no, it's fine. We were shitting on it too. I will admit, like it is like in like isolation as a different thing. Like it is a
of
really
course,
sweet
yeah,
thing. But
everything in
yeah.
isolation is great.
yeah,
I mean, when a guy has his way with a woman in isolation, it's great.
What?
Oh my
What?
god!
What?
no.
You want to try that one again?
I was just,
Well, fuck
anyway,
direction did you just go
we're gonna get away from that. But
That's it.
yeah,
That's it. I'm portaling away.
you're recalling. So I will say that like there was a moment during that last like confrontation, like trying to get to Victor. It was a nice like everything that was going on with Echo was actually like a reference to one of the trailers that like actually his trailer when he was launched, like doing that whole thing of like dying and like restarting it and dying in different ways.
I kind of appreciated that during the fight scene, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like
It's a nice touch, but it's not enough to like override everything else that's going on.
and I think like I said, Echo gets that instance of the plot armor of season 2 might be the strongest with him, because again, the Victor bots get him, and it's only with him that it takes longer to assimilate, that he's able to wind the clock back so far that he's able to succeed and throw the time machine. We were paying, like I at the very least was paying attention to that. It's like the second it touched Savika, Vi, Jinx, Caitlyn, it touched everybody else, it was practically instantaneous.
Mhm.
And then it takes Echo a good second to be assimilated.
Well, don't you understand? He has face paint and the sideways.
Thought you were
dreads.
about to say because he's black. I was about to be like,
He has the
whoa.
power. What is? Are we doing a One Piece reference here?
How did he convince the other Fireflies to help in the final battle, by the way?
Yeah,
Especially
Yeah,
fighting
I
with
think that's
Jinx.
also a very good point about his character, is that the Fireflies abandoned him to be part of the Jinxers.
Mhm.
But I don't want to get too off into world building because
Yeah, the world building kind of falls apart with anything you look at, like the whole.
yeah. Well,
it's,
and
it's
you
all
said
kind
that
of
was a
bad.
separate thing, so I don't want to go off the
Yeah.
rails.
Yeah, because the world building is shit. Honestly, like everything about the world building is garbage. Like it's just I kind of despise it, but yeah. But yeah, and then one more character who was okay because they literally didn't do anything was definitely not LeBlanc. Now, if you remember from Mel's side story, there was a chick who was fucking with her the entire time.
Sorry, who's LeBlanc?
She's a character from the game.
Oh, Windows screensaver lady.
Yeah.
Microsoft Audio Visualizer World. the worst, most undercooked fucking plot line in the entire season.
That
that
Mel's plot
absolute
could have
waste
been the
of
most
time.
fucking interesting thing of all of the entire show for me.
Yeah.
Because I was fascinated.
Yeah. But yeah, with Echo and Not LeBlanc, that kind of wraps it up for the second category of characters who I thought were kind of okay in comparison to everything else. Now we're gonna get into the characters who I believe are trash. They're bad tier. This is the worst tier. They are the lower tiers, and as we go lower, this is where I think of their positioning. So to start us off in this little section, I'm going to bring up Ambessa.
Started off so fucking good, and then
She
basically
could have
was-
been so
she
fucking
could have
good as an
been
antagonist.
so
And then
fucking good.
com-
By the
compliant
end,
with-
she just has like full on brain damage.
Yeah,
Yes.
to the point where she's compliant with the possibility of the end of the fucking world.
Because she has soldiers that don't feel fear or whatever, even though like it is
she's gonna be
very
one of
shown off
them.
that she saw what happens when Victor is not in control of the fucking things. They're all Victor.
Also,
why would
like-
why would a woman of Noxus want to fucking give up every single bit of free will to somebody who's not fucking like of Nox in like
Also-
fucking like principles?
And
It's
for a-
really fucking dumb.
And for a split second, like, world building side tangent, fucking spears are beating gunpowder again!
Oh, dude, don't get me started on that shit. Like,
Yeah,
we're not gonna get started on that.
It's Wakanda all fucking over again!
At least
Yeah.
Wakanda had laser spears.
Yeah, and like the fact that Piltover only has flintlock pistols at this point is, ugh, god damn it. Want to talk about an adaptation thing? Piltover is literally like a fantasy sci-fi world in the middle of a fantasy fucking setting.
Especially
Like,
like
So,
adaptation
the fact that they
wise.
all got like fucking pistol or fucking like flintlock rifles and shit. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Well, they're not flintlocks; they're breech loaders. Which
Doesn't matter. It's not a fucking space gun.
But I was going to say, because like adaptation wise, isn't like Piltover isn't nearly everything in relation to Hex Tech to the point that like.
Yes, because they're a city of progression. They're like thing. Like if this was if in the war, if that was the Piltover from the game, they would literally wipe the floor with Noxians. And that's why
I mean,
Noxus
even
doesn't
in
really
the
fuck with
show,
them.
that was the original point.
That's why
was that
Jace said,
we
"Yeah, if
don't
wanted
war
to
with
invade-"
Zahn.
Yeah.
That's why Jace wanted the fucking peace with Silco, because he
Yeah,
saw
not
like
because he thought he would lose, because he saw what we would have to do.
yeah, it's like we could win so fucking easily, but that would involve children dying. So let's not.
Let's not do this.
So
Before you
yeah.
die.
And yeah, and Ambessa, like she starts off as like she has such like great moments and great lines, but like unfortunately they're just all hampered by like, okay, but what are you doing now? What are you trying to do? Do you even know? You didn't even know about Victor until fucking way later, and now he's the center point of your entire motivation. Really?
Also, but
And
also, like,
also-
by what authority does she have to like start taking things over?
Not only that, like her fucking plans, like so. You know how we all joke about how in the prequels Palpatine just it always seems to work out for him no matter what. That's what happened with Ambessa when fucking Mel or whatever, not even Mel, the fucking ginger bitch just suddenly turned traitor. It's like the plot needed that to happen, and it's like nope, because Ambessa has plans within
She's
plans
been plans
within
within
plans.
plans. Yes,
And it's
she
just
is
like,
the
and it's
the
like,
true
what the
carrier.
fuck does that even mean?
She's
Like,
the true
for-
carrier
she
of all
said
the autism.
She's the one that had Giga Chad give the lady the invitation, and then it's like, okay,
that could have gotten
then,
Jace killed. Then who's
Yeah.
gonna make Hex Tech?
Yeah, but more importantly, now grant this is going again more into a plot thing, but it also kind of ties into her character. She didn't bother to like try and like strategically like make sure that these people got in. She just handed them the invitation to let them know what's happening. So then you just have this person with like covering her face completely after a terrorist attack where one of the council members was killed. And like just this
More than
like,
one,
really
a good majority of them.
Well, I'm just thinking of Caitlin's mom, but yeah. But still, it's like
Gotta go on.
It's not even like she's like strategically giving them places to where they could sneak in. It's like, no, here you go. By the way, there's no pat downs here to see if there's any weapons. You can keep your face covered.
Imagine,
it's not like we had a
imagine,
major terrorist attack.
imagine that meeting, and Bessa is just talking to that Chem Baron lady, and she's just going, by the way, don't worry, they're just not gonna stop you for like a good chunk of the plan. And like the Chem Baron, like, how does the Chem Baron react to that? It's like, oh, I guess Piltover just has just shit security. Like,
Yeah,
why haven't we just tried to invade then?
and
Those
it's
are the worst.
and the thing is, like, it would have helped if, like, during that whole scene, Ambessa comes in right before Jace is about to get hit by the chainsaw. And anyway, like, she just goes and kills the Chem Baron, which would make her look a lot better and earn Chase's trust, to where maybe she could worm her way into his brain to have her give her some hex tech or something.
And then into his pants.
But
No,
all right, no. The writers and fucking showmakers are having enough of their fetishes being fucking shown off.
Yeah,
in the show.
they forgot
we don't
the
need any
twink.
of your bullshit.
They
No,
forgot
no.
the twink from season.
No, I'm more just joking.
No, they
'cause, like,
didn't. Medarda ate him.
No, I'm more just referencing. It's like her introduction was like, "I've come to sample the city." Immediately grabs a giant bottle,
grabs the closest twink she can and
then
goes,
just a
"You
bed
now."
and then also like all the liquor she can get her hands on. It's like, I'm just gonna
Poor
enjoy.
little fucker got sentenced to death by Snoo Snoo.
No, that man
What do
went.
you mean?
No,
Or
no, that man
you mean
went
lucky
happy.
son of a bitch. But yeah, Mbessa is a personal like sadness for me because like I think she was like really cool and like she just
She
fucking
was
So-
one of the best
lost.
characters in.
Yeah,
fucking
you wanna
season
talk
one,
about
just
how,
'cause,
like,
unabashedly,
she was
yes.
so intimidating.
Yeah, you
She
want
was
to talk about
clever.
how Jace was like his arc and just his personality. That was probably my favorite of season 1. And
Same.
Bessa is a close second because like she genuinely played the political game in such an interesting way as just basically a general that's like, I want this shit because it turns out we've been at war for like off screen for a good amount of time, so we need hex tech weapons. Daughter, convince your boyfriend to make them for us. All right, you're not gonna do that? I'll talk to him my fucking self.
And like
Oh.
the idea that Mbessa could be like held like in fear of like this like cult or whatever, and that like that's what the whole thing is. That's why she's been pushing. Like, it's just
Especially
like I
when
said-
the motherfucker literally right next to her has beads that nullify magic.
Yeah, they have
She
magic
just-
nullification.
She's the safest person that she could fucking be against those people. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Why is it only when Brutus died that she started to get her own magic beads?
No,
Yeah,
she
that was a
took
weird implication
no,
as
she
well.
took Brutus's.
I know, but
But
like,
yeah,
why
that's
does
what I mean. Why
have
did
her
she have to
own?
take his? Why couldn't she get her
Oh,
own?
sorry, I misheard that. Interpreted that they just spawned out of nowhere for her, and it's like, no, they
No.
came from something.
Yeah, they should have come from her own pockets.
Yeah, but
Why
so did
she have
his.
her
Yeah,
Why didn't she get her own?
yeah, no, she should have had her own. It's bizarre.
In fact, all of the Noxians should have like at least one of those shits on the tip of their spear.
own?
No, their whole armor should be covered in it.
Yeah.
But okay, military grade means as cheap as fucking possible that can be mass produced. You don't want to like bankrupt the entire Noxian military
No.
just so they have beads.
Well, I mean, when your spears are powerful enough to fight fucking gunpowder people and puncture through
People?
fucking not hex tech, shimmer suits.
Yeah. So yeah, she's a massive disappointment for me. I
It's
wanted so much more from her, and we got so little. God, it hurts me for to say this, but you know who's worse?
Oh
Who?
no.
Mel.
The diet version.
So that would imply Mel had anything to do outside of that room
She
than the
literally
finale.
has literally no like the
She
most
does
ambitious.
nothing on the nothing plot line that goes nowhere.
Exactly.
I was
The most ambitious and like back-dealing political badass. Like she fucking got to where she was, not because she's strong, but because she's clever. Nah, she gets locked in a fucking
hold
crate
on.
for a year and literally does nothing except
Not
for support
only-
other characters.
not only is she clever, at the same time she still has a heart because while she used Jace for political gains, she still fell in love with him.
Mhm.
And
There's
we
this-
don't get her reaction to him potentially dying.
Yeah, and like I said, there's this like weird thing that EFAT pointed out that I got to point out. It's like when Jace, she's like, "Oh my God, Jace, are you okay?" And he's like, "I don't want to talk about it." She's like, "Anyway, this is what I've been going through."
Yeah,
And, oh
it's
my
so
God.
fucking horse shit. I hated every fuck you, bye.
Fuck you, bye.
It, it still baffles me. We don't get anything. It's like, oh, Jace, where is he? And it's like we don't know. He just kind
Nope,
of.
I'm gonna go rule Noxus now. Fuck you.
Yeah,
I don't even mind her like ruling Noxus
No,
necessarily.
it wasn't earned.
It's not earned. You're right, but like I just
She also can't rule Noxus because there is a character that exists there.
But that's not on screen, so that character.
It literally
exist.
is on screen. The crow, the raven with 3 eyes, is literally the leader of Noxus.
Oh, I did not know that's what that represents.
That is literally Swain's
Mel's
crow.
I thought it was one of Mel's powers was to interact with the crow.
That is not Mel's power. You wouldn't know that without.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I didn't fucking know that. You literally just told me.
Yeah, but no.
I watch the show. I don't play the game.
But like it's weird how it's like it's being implied that like the next show will be about Noxus, but it'll also be in this weird. This is why I don't like Arcane, because like I don't like the Arcane being the world building of Runeterra, and I don't like it being the center point of other things, because it literally removes agency from other fucking future projects. But that's a whole other discussion. Like I said, I really do despise the fucking world building.
I originally didn't like the premise of Arcane. Mainly, like after we finished season 1, you showed me a lot of the League of Legends trailers. And I'm like, honestly, Piltover and Zun are like the least interesting bits of this world.
Like, you want a real one? Like, fucking do the fucking war between Ionia, which is basically Mystic Asia, versus Noxus. Like, there is a full fucking scale like invasion that Noxus tried to do, and Ionia, being this very peaceful fucking like world, just says, "Nah, fuck it. We're gonna fucking we do this shit." It's pretty fucking sick, but I'm scared now because I don't want to see them handle it.
I don't want to see it at all. Like, no, thank you.
Unless it's different showrunners. If it's different showrunners, like I'll be fine with that. But
not even different showrunners, different writers too. Because as Jake and I were talking about, they lost most of their fucking writing staff from season 1 to season 2.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry though, the Lebanese one stayed.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to say because Mel literally has no agency as a character in this show, which is like borderline a character assassination ever.
Yeah.
Let me double check this real quick.
So he's probably gonna go check his notes. No, I really thought Mel was gonna get a very interesting plotline. I messaged Slur, like, because the way Jake and I were watching this, we originally watched Act 1 all in one go. Then, because it took, since he and I work rather late, it basically would be, 1 to 2 in the morning by the time we'd be done with just 3 episodes. So we're just like, alright, no, we'll have to split it into batches of 2. So by the time Mel, had disappeared and all that stuff, I messaged Slur, and it's just like, this feels really rushed, and I really want to see what's going on with Mel.
Because there's the potential, she's being fucking raised by literal demon assassin dudes. That could be a really cool fucking thing, but we don't get anything about that.
Also, I kind of thought it was funny how, as I'm watching the scenes with Mel in the fucking weird lockup room, I was we saw her brother, then the stuff with the water happened. I was like, he's not real.
Yeah,
Turns out he's not.
He's not real.
And I cannot tell if I was being clever or if the show was just being super fucking obvious.
No, the show was literally.
No, a lot of the twists and reveals were super fucking obvious. Like how Madara did the fucking terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that coming immediately. They were very heavy-handed setting up.
So
it would just happen to be super advantageous to me if everybody got really weirded out and militaristic. That would just be fucking dandy. Oh, would you look at that?
So
look at that! Oh boy, would you look at the time? It's just it's a clock with a bunch of military dictatorship.
So I'll admit I didn't realize that until it finally did the quote unquote reveal. I was like, oh, and originally it was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and then had to be pointed out as Jace could have gotten killed. It's right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the next on this list, Or is anybody else getting Filthy Casual? You got anything to say about Mel's character throughout the series? Throughout the
I
season?
mean, besides the whole surprise power up and her weird thing with her mom and the plot armor, no.
I don't
No.
think it was a surprise because of the we were getting a hint of it. If you were to say like that's the direction it was gonna go, I wouldn't have told you that. But it's like we're clearly getting something because of her like armor flashing when the rocket was about to hit the council chambers. So we
No,
were
like that part was fine. My issues are more story based, which I feel like I shouldn't be saying because we're talking about characters. So
Well, I mean, like, go
Like
ahead and
how
say
she
it,
was
though.
literally the golden child, fucking chosen one. But it
yes,
was-
and like the whole thing with her and her mom was like a duel, and all of a sudden, like there was no soldiers. And
okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
I-
say, like, it is a little weird that, like, it's like, oh, we have to have this honorable duel. By the way, 2v1 me, bro.
I laughed my ass off on how like Ambessa was basically handing Sorcerer Jesus and Caitlyn their fucking asses.
To be fair, Caitlyn was stabbed in the fucking stomach.
I get it. I just have found it fucking
which
hilarious.
yeah, you get it, but like it also makes it more ridiculous. It's like, how the fuck is Ambessa even losing this?
and
And she's
also
just
just
wiping the floor with both of them.
just as a question,
Good.
when did Mel learn her power?
I hope
And-
you were just gonna say just stop it when.
Well, I should have. Like when did she get her power? Why did she understand it? There's no fucking answers.
There's no training montage. There's no nothing. She's just
Can someone
she's just kind of a god now.
Also, this is like my least favorite part of the whole show. Was can someone explain to me the whole Blackthorn world?
The
I
Black
don't
Roses?
get it. Sorry, Black Rose.
It's base. You watch Naruto?
To me, as a person who just watched the show, it was just bullshit. Like they just kind of were like, "Oh, well, here's magic," and then that's it.
Didn't you hear Magic Dragons play?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and my dick got hard, and I came,
Hell
and
yeah.
then
You
know, like post nut clarity, I was like, "Well, this
Wait a
shit
minute.
doesn't make sense."
Oh, it's funny now that I just remembered. So you know how Ambessa is now a champion? Mel's gonna get introduced next year.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%.
Savika is
Well-
probably also going to go in
well-
if she's going to have an RNG mechanic.
Well, no, not even no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that as a likelihood. Like it's been announced, Mel will
Oh,
be
okay.
released in 2025.
I'm fucking sad that Silco didn't get anything. He's a fucking goddamn like TFT fucking thing.
At
It's
the
really
Well,
gay.
he's too smart. They can't give him a
What would
retard
they-
arm.
Well, no. What would you even like? I'm not like sure like, oh, it'd be stupid to see Silco as a champion. It's like, what would you do?
Honestly,
Like,
just
what would-
fucking just make him a skin for Shaco, the fucking clown assassin dude.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like,
Well,
I
that's
just
why-
want him in the game because I think he's cool. I'm like,
That's
just make him
why
have his
that's
voice
why I
lines
joked
so
that
he's
his alt would just be eye injection.
He like
That's,
he
that's fucked up.
injects eye with
His
shimmer,
ult would be
shoots
gas
laser.
chamber. He turns the entire room or the entire arena into a gas chamber. Except for
I've had the
his-
worst taste of the whole day, and that is the worst take. Just
Nah.
so you know.
I'm gonna double down on this one. I think it would be fucking cash. Everyone's gonna buy that champion.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you could literally. Nothing. Never mind.
Oh yeah, it's like let's try not to make 1700 Holocaust jokes in 5 seconds.
Nope. Anyway, speaking of a certain brand of cookie, their next character is Heimerdinger.
Oh my god!
Oh my God.
Okay, no.
Heimerdinger
I want to lead this one for just 2 seconds.
Okay.
Go for
So
it.
you know-
Please
so
do,
you know-
because after you do, I'm gonna kill myself.
I mean, you kind of already did. So
Thank you.
So, you know how Echo is like, hey,
No.
Heimerdinger, now that we've been reunited, we should go home. Heimerdinger's like, nah.
Also-
just enjoy this world. We don't have hex tech, but the world's so much better now that Vi is dead. I know he doesn't
know who this
actually.
spy person is, but I'm glad she's dead, Lamau.
Why does Heimerdinger sound like Mickey
Why is
Mouse?
Heimerdinger and Mickey Mouse?
Because he is Mickey Mouse. Shut up.
He's
He's Mickey. For the sake of my joke, he's Mickey Mouse now. I got you.
Sorry,
He's not concerned.
we got a bit distracted. I was running for my life.
I wasn't
He's
worried.
not. He's
If
not
you died,
concerned.
I mean, it wouldn't be awful.
So okay, so Heimerdinger's thing is like, yeah, let's all chill out. Like, we'll just stay in this world till we die. And it's just like, Heimerdinger, one, that is not your body. That is someone else's entirely. Secondly, the world you came from is on the verge of war. The tree that both you and Echo live in is being corrupted by either the Shimmer or the corruption of the Arcane. And yet, his whole thing, through that bit, he has to be convinced to go home.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's implied that he's been there for a minute. That's honestly the biggest issue I have.
1,000 days and
so it's not
Like, that's
implied.
like 3 years.
It's not implied.
Yeah,
he
it's
says he's been there
specifically-
for 3 years.
Yeah, it's straight up said. You're
Yeah,
right. My bad.
which I misheard the first time
It's
I heard
it's
it.
my internal thing of always trying to be the best faith possible. But yeah, no, it is fucking straight up said.
Which, by the way, I misheard originally and thought he said that he was there for over 100,000 days. And I was been like, so you've been here for like 50 fucking years? And you did nothing?
I mean, he is a Yordle. They are kind of immortal, so he's old.
But,
Basically,
that makes it worse that he still didn't do anything.
yes, honestly like the thing though. Is like you're not only immortal, you're not only really smart, but like you have all this time to do anything, but you're waiting on Echo because you want to play the banjo for him. It really fucking lame.
It wasn't waiting for Echo so that when Echo does appear, they can immediately just head right fucking home.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he treats when he's explaining about how I used to think that it was the people that made the magic all fucked up, but actually the magic is just fucked up inherently. And he's just explaining this so casually and just in his usual like happy-go-lucky tone. And it's like, I think this is a very pressing matter that you're realizing that that magic is inherently a very fucked power.
What would Heimerdinger have to say about Jace and Victor fucking off?
Well, we don't know because he's completely fucking removed from this show.
Yeah, he died.
Ironically, we will never know what he has to say about them fucking off because he fucked off.
Yeah, he fucked off.
He's either fucked off or
He
he's
beat
just
them to
dead.
it.
Yeah,
I think he died.
No, he's not dead.
Are you doing the whole thing where
this fucking dude trusts me, but he's not dead.
Why do you keep saying that?
Dude, trust me.
I almost want to pull up my phone
My sauce is I made it the fluff up.
I think it's because in the game, isn't when Heimerdinger or his people they die, they just end up in a city or something. Hold on.
So I messaged Slur like a few days, like on Friday. Do you think Heimerdinger is actually dead or got thrown back into the multiverse? And Slur responded, I don't think the writers care, so I don't either, to be honest.
Yeah.
Based.
It's like, do you think Heimerdinger's dead? I don't care.
And also,
I mean, that's kind of like the heartbreaking thing about the season, though. It's like the writers clearly didn't give a fuck. So I, as the audience, am just, even if I wanted to give a fuck, it feels like I'm wasting my time. It feels like I'm being an idiot.
mm-hmm.
How dare you care?
How dare you care about the characters that we built for you to care?
Yeah,
And I
like,
get this
also-
feeling whenever I watch anything where the more I think about it after the fact, the less I like it. I hate that fucking feeling.
And like, it's worse too because like, why did he die?
It has something to do with because I think the whole the time travel tism bullshit. With that machine, he was like, it's like, oh no, I need to pull some levers and attach some cords. And I'm like, I thought this was already done. I thought you had already got this figured out.
Also, not only does Heimerdinger die with that, he got a practice death when Echo was testing the time limit because he fucking exploded.
Yeah,
How do you know the limit is 4 seconds? It's like fucking
trust me. Like, don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. Please don't ask. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Your eye could fly so far. What?
Thank God, Heimerdinger, you're solid again. What is that? What do you mean by that?
What do you?
Oh my, Heimerdinger, I'm so glad that your eyeball isn't across the room and you're not just like paced in front of me.
What do you?
What?
What does that mean, Heimerdinger? I'm so glad that you're not a bunch of chunky salsa. By the way, your insides, man, they look really tasty. It looks like actual salsa.
Heimerdinger, I'm so glad that you're not dead, and also, you might need to go to a doctor. I think I saw a tumor on your liver.
Yeah, no, like it's really dumb. And like so they showed off that brutality and whatever to show like, oh look, that's how bad it would be. But then like when they do the thing, like he just literally fucking Photoshop gets disappeared. It's like what? What's like what is this?
We didn't really talk about the when sorry, this is like going back when like Echo is constantly reversing time to stop Jinx from blowing herself up.
Oh, I'm gonna
Oh,
make a
whoa,
YouTube
oh
poop
yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I'm definitely gonna make a meme about this where it's just
Yeah,
like,
we actually
listen to me,
didn't talk
boom,
about it.
where like every like
It's
third
so
word she's
funny.
blowing herself up.
It was so funny, and I don't think it was meant to be funny.
It's not meant
was
to be
not meant to be
funny, but
funny,
our
but-
horrible sense of humor because of things like YouTube.
It's
poops
not
have-
our horrible sense of humor. It's literally everyone's sense of humor. Everybody saw the same fucking thing, and that's what makes me really upset about like writers in general. It's because it's like, do you really just have nobody but yes men around you? Like you have no one to be like, hey man, that's kind of funny how you wrote that. Why did you write it that way? I have a feeling you didn't mean it to be that way.
Like this suicide scene should have had a laugh track.
Yeah. It's like
It
Every
kind
time he brings her back, he's like, bazinga.
it kind of reminds me of what I wanted like ReZero to be, where like the main character does something, he goes, ah damn it, anyways, jumps in front of bus, gets hit, dies,
I mean,
restarts.
Hey,
The-
ReZero is fucking awesome.
I mean, if we got, like,
let's
I
cool
did not care for it. I found
If-
a lot of Subaru's deaths to be very funny.
if we got an
I will say the first season has a lot of cringe stuff, but then as it goes on, you're like on board. How far did you get?
Season 1.
Okay. Well, if season 1 wasn't good enough for you, then you probably won't like it. So,
Yeah.
Anyway,
but I think it's better actually as it goes on. But it's whatever.
I'm a Konosuma ban, okay, when it comes to isekai. I'm a man of culture.
Well, if you'll stop jacking
Um,
off in the haystack.
Okay.
all right. Anyway, that weird
shut
tangent
up.
gone.
No.
That was fucking weird. Like, what, Max? What just happened? What? Where am I?
Oh, I ate. Well, oh, I was thinking about having the game. I was say I just ate that guy.
Apparently, he's just not ready for conversations about real art.
Exactly.
I'm gonna real
Actual legitimate art. Like gender.
Legitimate.
Like, yeah.
legitimate. Speaking
Something's
of
poking.
legitimate,
Something's poking.
let's
oh,
get
the
to
Something
tied for second worst character in my opinion.
Oh boy.
So, the two characters available are
Mm.
Vi and Caitlyn. Isn't it
Okay.
crazy? Isn't it kind of crazy? Isn't it kind of crazy that like the main characters are the worst characters in this fucking season?
Oh boy.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that crazy? What did the developers mean by this?
I don't know. I don't know what they meant by that. Where Caitlin's like, by the way, my family has control of the ventilation of all these chemicals. We're gonna use them to gas the
We're
fucking
going to
streets.
do war crimes.
So we're gonna gas the fucking streets. And Vi's just like, sure, yeah, fine, Caitlin, whatever
She's like,
you say,
shit,
honey.
Negro. That's all you had to
That's all you
say.
Yeah, we're the Geneva Convention Avengers for like one day.
Hell yeah, Batman.
And only 2 of them have hex-tech weapons, by the way.
Mhm.
Yeah, only two
I-
of them.
I laughed.
Why did they
so
why did they stop with the single rifle? Why did you do that?
I
What do they mean by
laughed
this?
so hard when so it's character / plot. I love how they find Accountant Man. They're like, all right, we're getting close to Jinx's trail. And then Vi is just like, we should leave everyone behind. What do you mean? Kiss me.
Her reasoning
Yeah,
was
so-
stupid. It's like they never dealt with Jinx before. It's like, well, how do you know they'd crack under pressure if they never dealt with her before?
Also, that would imply those 2 other people. I'm sorry, 3 other people. Sorry, I forgot Fishman even fucking existed.
Yep.
Like, they're not even characters. How would we know that Jinx would be able to manipulate them? And then, the
So stupid.
and then after like having a weird like not really finished fight where once again, despite saying that Powder is dead, it's only Jinx, it's all of this stuff, refuses to fucking like actually like finish her off, and tells, even though she tells Caitlyn like take the shot if you have the opportunity. And
Vi doesn't even bother to take baby Jinx off of Jinx either. So
when
it's
we
like,
know those gloves could fucking do it.
yeah,
The,
Like, you
the
know-
gloves could do it, and Jinx didn't want her there either. And Jinx is roided up on Shimmer. She could have fucking yeet that child across the room.
She
And
yeeted
it-
it, she could have super speeded away. Like literally, she's like got basically blink technology. Yeah,
And it
it's really
becomes
crazy.
that and it becomes that issue of like, because I talked about this when we talked about season 1, where it's like it kind of is just that trope that I'm not really the biggest fan of. I understand it can be executed really well. I'm really sick of characters hesitating when they have a character dead to rights. Like
I don't-
It's always annoying, even
Yeah.
if it's justified. It's I think the other example that comes up a lot is misunderstandings being like the driving thing in a plot. It's
Just
like
talk.
even if it makes sense within the context of the story, it's always kind of annoying. I would always prefer that it was something else.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the Echo one pissed me off like in season 1, because it's like they've been fighting for years. The possibility that Echo was going to need to kill Jinx, like that was always going to happen. And so the idea that he's going, like, after all this fighting, and he still just doesn't continue kicking the shit out of her. And then Vi, who then later goes like, all right, my sister is dead, take the shot, do whatever you need to do, like, hesitates. The kid climbs on top of her, doesn't remove the kid, and then when she becomes this fucking street boxer, the second she sees Jinx, immediately tries to fucking kick the shit out of her. It's like, stop, what is this weird back and forth you've got going? This fucking split personality.
Yeah, it's almost like she's like being pushed around by the plot, and like whatever she has to be for this particular moment, that's what she is. Which sucks because I thought she was actually a pretty good character in the first season.
Yeah,
but
I didn't.
Well, I
we
do
literally-
think Vi got done the dirtiest by the season 2 problems. Like,
Mhm.
there's a lot of characters that suffered from their plot lines being rushed or downsized, or just their own decisions or their own character development getting undercut just because we need to get to the next plot point within the next 2 minutes because there's no time.
Mhm.
Vi took the hard hit on every single fucking cut that was done.
Yeah.
Like, she basically doesn't have a
Huge.
character. She's just an extension of Caitlyn's fucking spiral.
Mhm. Hey, Wyatt, do you think I'm big enough now?
And then
As you're 4
then-
levels ahead of me, yeah, sure.
No, I'm talking about size.
Yeah.
and I guess we should now start getting into. Well, actually, no. We can still talk more about Vi. So
I was about to say, like, she has.
Yeah.
I feel like she has less agency than Mel. She was being dragged along by other characters. She literally had like no motivation to do anything. Everything was like a reaction to other things. Like Caitlyn was gonna go get Jinx, so she went with Caitlyn. Like Jinx was gonna save Vander, so she went with like Jinx. Like, you know what I mean? Like nothing she did was her own decisions.
Even-
Jinx went
uh,
off to commit an hero, and then Vi decided to ban Caitlyn because it's what Caitlyn wanted.
Exactly.
And then hold on, let's not forget, also sees Caitlyn after all the nonsense being the cage fighter, and then it's like, yep, we have this plan to just fucking portray Ambessa, like a character that Vi's never even fucking met.
Mhm.
They haven't.
And
they-
Caitlyn realized that the episode was running a little long, and it was time to get to the next fucking plot beat. So we didn't have
Again,
time to establish.
and again, I think this lack of agency with Vi has to do with all that CTE she's gained.
I appreciated the line against Vi. It's like, you look like an angry oil slick, and it's like, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, and her crashing out that episode, which like I think it was episode 4, was it? 4 or 5 was when she
I
was like
don't
crash.
believe that because Caitlyn made her the big sad that she would just stop chasing Jinx.
Yeah, like
No.
but yeah, you would think that, but because she has no agency, the second anything happens, she just goes, "Yeah, no, fuck it, I'm not gonna. I literally am not gonna do anything."
No,
It's even implied. It's even implied that fucking not Vander was the one setting up all of her fights.
Yeah, and
like
she's
you know what I mean? Like it's implied that like she wasn't even setting up any fights. She was just like there.
Yeah. And but what's kind of it's actually even worse is like she's crashing out over a girl she knew for what 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like
No,
that.
that tracks for lesbians. They move quick.
I got no comment on that.
I got no
But
ground. I got no beef.
I don't.
and then
I got beef,
and
but I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to ruin.
and
it
then
comes
of
out.
course
I'm not starting this fight.
and then of course because it has to always be this way with lesbians. Like Caitlyn goes, by the
Okay.
way, I'm seeing someone. And then Vi's like, Caitlyn, I don't fucking care. Well, Caitlyn, I'm sorry, Vi, it doesn't matter if you don't care, because you're not the one in the relationship. Now, granted, Caitlyn also doesn't fucking care, obviously, because it doesn't matter that
Kill a dragon with me.
Scottish ginger bitch was a traitor because we didn't know it at that time, even though I fucking called it.
Were they even still together when Caitlyn went down to the cell?
Yes.
I don't
Yes,
fucking
they
know
were.
because
I would assume so. I would assume so because like she literally starts saying something like I've been seeing someone or I saw something like that, and then I don't fucking care. Like it doesn't matter if you don't care, Vi. You're not the one in a relationship. But no, it doesn't matter because shipping rules dictate these two must end up together. It doesn't matter, so we'll just make Scottish bitch evil. There, it's okay.
Well, it felt
it's
like
perfectly
they
fine
had
now.
this thing where they wanted them to have a sex scene, and they kind of just didn't care that they had placed it in a place that made fucking Vi look psychotic.
As they had one of the unsexiest sex scenes I've seen in media
No.
for quite a
The scene was fine. It was its placement that was my
I was
problem.
about to say, like, the scene is actually perfectly fine. However, it's the placement of the scene. Like, in isolation, that was a really well animated sex scene. Yeah, that's really good. However, like at least one of these characters. No, fuck it. Both of these characters shouldn't be doing this right now.
No,
and
Like,
also
that's the actual issue.
And yeah, and then this is just a funny thing to mention. I'm pretty sure I'll need to pull it back up. I'm pretty sure one of the animators just admitted that they put Vi's head on a man's body.
I don't know about that, but if they said that, then yeah. But I don't know. Vi was looking good as fuck. She was thick. Anyway, we're not gonna talk about that.
It's weird. I was
gonna say
really
we should be done because it's weird that we're like, let's spend 45 minutes criticizing the sex scene.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, no.
We'll do that. We'll do that in our after Saturday night horny posting. Don't worry about it. But yeah, Caitlyn also going like full force into the dark side after fucking Mbessa basically did the Wolf of Wall Street thing was weird. And yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you're the fucking
you're the last Jedi.
You're the military dictator now, and she's like, shit, say less.
Yeah, and not just that, she's also Dracula.
I think she also says you're the last wolf, or you're the wolf.
Yeah, you are the
juice
wolf.
Now.
You are the wolf. Anyway, here's your Dracula cape. Blah.
The one that you wore for one episode and then fucked off. Yeah.
with her also her Steve Jobs turtleneck. That made me chuckle in the season 2 intro. I was like, it looks like she was wearing a turtleneck, and then also the it looked like she was coming onto a stage. Like, is she about to announce the new iPhone?
Yes.
Also,
I wish she did.
Let's not forget when she goes to Caitlyn after Baby Jinx blows herself up, and it's like, she arrested Jinx. What do you do? And then I was just yelling. I'm like, Vi, of course she would. Jinx is a fucking psychotic criminal who has killed dozens of people. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
I'm on the opinion that Vi is worse than Caitlyn. But
I agree.
I did want to slot them together because
I would put it the other way around. Because Caitlyn has more agency and because so much more of her decisions drive the plot and they're all retarded, that's a bigger problem for me.
Yeah. Like I said, I was saying I would lean that way, but there's a reason I put them as a tie because it's like they're both pretty shit.
Okay, Caitlyn is a very big component of what makes Vi so bad. So some of Vi's badness has to go to Caitlyn as well.
Yeah.
So you think Vi has no agency or what?
No,
she has no fucking character.
Yeah, were you away? We had this discussion a second ago.
Sorry, I went to pee.
Okay, so
That was
basically,
a
yeah,
long
no,
ass
Vi.
pee. We fucking talked about that
Yeah,
for
we
a
talked.
good,
We
like
talked to.
25 minutes.
So Vi literally has no agency because like literally she's dragged around by literally every other character in the show. Like, like,
Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase. Do
Yeah.
you blame that on Vi, or do you blame that on the one, like the people around her?
It
Like-
very
like
much
she-
is
she
Vi's
should-
shittiness, but some of it comes down to Caitlyn because
Because Vi should have some agency,
Oh wait,
But-
also,
should have. But
Vi,
but she surrounds herself with assholes. So
No,
I know what you're saying.
also another moment of Vi like not really having any agency because they just never really went through with the full conversation. Vi becoming an enforcer, like full on, like because it just
Oh my
they have
God.
they have the 2-second conversation. It's like I thought
I-
we were on the same side, and then
I
the memorial
100%
attack
agree.
happens, and then it's like now Vi's just in an enforcer outfit. It's like there's a conversation fucking missing.
mm-hmm.
I 100% agree. I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page because Vi might piss me off the most out of this whole season.
Yeah,
she was done the dirtiest, I think, was one
Yeah,
of the conclusions.
and-
Yeah.
I think that's why like a lot of the moments that are supposed to be so tender and sweet involving like the family, the he's your father too, like with the hug, I didn't fucking care.
Yeah.
I was
I-
more so happy for Vander than Vi and Jinx, to be honest.
Yeah,
I wasn't happy for anybody, so
Mhm.
maybe I'm just the asshole. I don't know.
Maybe, or maybe the show was really shittily
But-
done.
By the end of the show, I was wanting everybody to die.
well, that's its own issue. Like, and something I even
Thank you.
mentioned. I was literally as shit was going down. You were like, yes, all of you die. I'm like, all right, just because the show's bad doesn't mean like everybody needs to just suddenly die.
No.
No,
Let them
God, it
be
might make the show
purged.
less boring.
clean the slate.
Clean the
Clean
wipe
the
the slate
slate.
clean. Burn it down.
Fuck the media.
Fuck this.
To be
go
fair-
Fuck American pride. Fuck the media.
Fuck
Goddamn
Noctis
dumb.
Pride. Noxus, fuck. Noctis is the Final Fantasy 15 character.
And it's
Well-
also a character in this game.
Metal Gear Rising destroys this story.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
And that has like fucking baby kidnapping.
What is
But,
there gonna be a
um,
moment where Caitlyn's just trying to punch Ambessa and it's just standing
I'm
here,
fucking
I
invincible!
realize.
Well, it's funny. It's funny that we bring up baby kidnapping because I feel like those guys can tie for second place as the worst character.
That's
And I want to point out, that for all of these characters, I've had like notes, and I can take a screenshot of all of them so you can actually see them when I'm backing up. But for the last character, I didn't say anything except for their name.
It's
Issa.
Baby Jinx, isn't it? Yeah, Baby Jinx.
yeah, Baby Jinx, as we referred to.
I feel like this is a
her.
pretty unanimous thing. That
She-
like she was.
she's
legit-
not a
We
she was
kind of
like-
character.
did go over it very quickly earlier. Do you think this thing is cute? Good, it's dead. Aren't you sad? Fuck you.
She's sad.
She's
Fuck
literally-
you. Why did
she's
why
a-
did she kill herself? What was her motivation to kill herself? Like there was other things to be done there.
I would say
Why
like
did she?
that could have been good. Watching Jinx have a younger person who's a younger version of her make her mistakes and like have that be the way that she confronts what a piece of shit she's been and have it be the beginning of her road to like I should maybe not be that because being that actually seeing it from somebody else's perspective, Jesus fucking Christ, I don't want to live in that world. It makes me not want to live in general. What the fuck? Like,
Max,
that
shouldn't
could
we
have been
at least have
good.
an
That
AI
could've
with
been
us
great.
then?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's just like it's like God, like it's like I like I said, I'm the biggest bitch here. I'll cry for anything and all that shit. But even I was like, dude, this kid's gonna fucking die. Like this kid is just here to
Didn't
literally
have a
just
fucking chance.
Baby
did it?
Jinx's
literally kill
entire
over and die.
Baby
I-
Jinx's
it-
entire
it's why-
purpose is
it's
to
why,
arrive, make
when
us feel
she-
bad for Jinx, then blow up because she don't know nobody.
I laughed
Yeah.
like when we saw the suicide coming, we were just like, wait a minute, they're not gonna. It's like it's
I was
showing the
la-
painted style is like painting her hair, painting the Beatles, and I'm just sitting like we're being emotionally manipulated here, Jake. And then
Thank
as
you.
she's putting the other crystals just put in the gun, and it's like she's gotta have one last line.
I was laughing. I was laughing. It was so funny.
The fact that she does the little finger gun
Can,
too.
can I
it's
ask
like,
you guys
why
what
do
what,
that?
what would have made that work for you?
Actually,
Like,
why let's leave this game because I just
Actually
realized I didn't set
watching
something up
Jinx
right.
and baby Jinx like
Okay.
having any kind of thing, any substantive level of bonding, or maybe that baby Jinx herself like dies because of Jinx's own actions or the consequences of
Basically
said
put in the
actions.
work and the time
Yeah.
to make us
How
give a
much
shit.
is that
Make us invested in their
skin?
relationship work out. As in, like, we want to see Jinx become a bit better through helping this kid. And we want to see the kid get a bit better because she's had it fucking rough. We want to go on a little bit of that journey so that when it goes to shit, we have a reason to give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
I mean,
that
that's
was
a
where I
start.
was too, where I felt it was undeserved, and
Yeah.
and
Oh,
that
yes.
character just kind of spawned and then was like, "Oh, Jinx, you're good," and she was like, "Oh yeah,"
Yeah.
and then she was like, "Oh, I'll blow myself up, for the slow mo," and then
Oh yeah.
Jinx is now good. All the terrorist attacks, don't
It's
care.
like, wait a second, I could
All your craziness,
die.
don't care.
Wait a
Like,
second. I just put a
we're
hextech
good to
marble in
go.
here. Hextech marbles explode.
That could explode.
Then
Oh
we
my
get a whole
God.
fucking slow mo shot of her going off, looking back and saying, "Sorry, Jinx, I have to do it for the vine." Boom.
And she's like, "No, Vine is illegal now." And she goes, "Wait, what?"
I mean, how fucking terrible was that shit with Kate and Vi, where Kate just falls on her head?
What?
Kate falls on Vi's head. Sorry, and
No,
she's like,
that's
"Oh,
so that's not so Aisha, you mean? Or Aisha, what the
no, I
Oh,
meant
Baby,
Kate.
her name is Baby Jinx.
where she
No, I
literally
meant
enters
Kate. When Vi is walking through the cliff face, and
oh, yeah. That was really weird.
Oh yeah.
Why?
It's like
Why is the leader of this fucking nation
yes,
like on patrol?
well, why is she on patrol and she falls onto her lover, and then things just work out? The whole fucking season was just
Oh yeah, I put that down as one
coincidence
of.
after one another. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I put that down as actually one of the things against Caitlyn too. Is like, yeah, like she just kind of she turns her loyalties on a dime. It's like, oh, Mbessa supports me, now I'm going to become a Noxian dictatorship. Oh no, Vi's here, now I'm going to completely support Vi. It's like, oh no, Jinx saved my life, now I'm going to completely save Jinx because even though I'm mad at her for killing my mom, but like, you know what I mean? Like she like just flip flops on a dime, and like I don't know. Like I said, both those characters.
I agree with you totally. I thought her relationship with Jinx was
wait,
one of the worst parts of the whole season.
oh no, like this thing happened. Better go have a lesbian sex scene.
Better go.
Yeah.
Better go
Yeah.
cheat on my girlfriend.
Yeah. Gotta do that.
But it's justified because the girlfriend was evil.
She was an evil.
Well, to be fair, at the time she didn't know she was evil, so she was
Yeah.
just being a whore.
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I like that you even
Yeah,
pointed out.
we
So she
tried.
wasn't.
Yeah,
She wasn't actually evil
we-
at that point.
we
She,
tried,
like,
we
seriously
tried to
cheated
avoid
on-
it, but it's like it's immediately it's like, oh, now that she's like popped the cork on being a lesbian, now she's just sleeping around with the two chicks on her team.
Oh my god.
She's literally me for FR.
It's one of those things where it's like, what's this? Lesbians don't have any kind of sense of faithfulness to their partner. What did the developers mean by this?
2 seconds, man.
For the record, these are all like obviously broad stereotypes that are not always true, but if you're an
Right.
Arcane writer, you clearly think they fucking are.
Exactly. Yeah. But no, because all that matters was shipping. Don't you understand? This is what people wanted. When it's like, honestly, I think the better option would be to have Caitlyn push Vi away and say, "What the fuck are you doing? I'm in a relationship. I'm with someone.
Well,
Whatever
no,
we had between us,
In that
yeah, it's
cell,
gone."
they should have been pushing each other away. One of them, hey, I'm in a relationship. The other, hey, my sister's committing suicide. I need to go now.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no! It's like in the fucking intro where they looks like they just collide face first into each other. They just do that.
Yeah. It's like, what were you doing? I was gonna push you away because you were gonna kiss me. Well, I was gonna push you away because I thought you were gonna kiss me. Oh.
And then they
Oh,
kiss
so you mean
anyway.
We're connected. And la la la.
It's literally like that Gilliman in your brain meme where it's like the Eldar is superior, humanity is superior.
Yeah. Oh, the mystery.
Oh, the dear, yeah.
But it's time to see if human and Eldari are truly compatible.
So yeah, that's all the characters in Arcane. I love how like I brought up and like literally we didn't even talk about Aisha because we all just completely 100% agree
I mean,
that
we
she's the
did
worst.
cover it a little bit with the Jinx stuff. So
Yeah.
So I don't know what, like, in terms of collections of non-characters, like there's Aisha, which like is just a walking like emotional manipulation device. That's why EFAP called her Grogu. We've got the Piltover Enforcer Squad. Most of them
No,
don't
here's
even
the
have
thing. I
fucking
do
names.
not put Aisha on the same level as like the other jobbers
Oh no,
because
I'm more
she's actually
I'm more just addressing the fact that there's just there's a good number of characters that just they're not characters.
Of course you bought Jedi Master Yi, you fucking predictable.
Hey, took a minute.
It's fine.
You're a Jedi Master? What are you, gay?
Okay. Yi.
Yeah.
I mean, when he activates his ultimate, his sword turns pink.
I was gonna say turns on Rainbow Saber. Yeah.
I mean, your saber literally changes fucking color. So
You monster frisbee!
The cake was delicious. Caitlin Embessa didn't invite me to her birthday party.
You monster mommy!
what do you think, Aisha?
You're just
No,
talking.
as she's
You're talking
like,
to
So
the
wait,
pile of
I was
ashes.
about to say, like it's dealer's choice at that point. Either she's mute or she's dead, Lamau.
No, I was gonna say she's mute as she's like putting on the suicide vest.
She just holds up a sign that says "God is great."
So, how much of the actual plot do we want to talk about now that we're done like shitting on the
we've done
characters?
bits and pieces as they kind of came up. And
I feel like we talked about a lot of the fucking bigger issues. Unless you guys have more.
I have kind of a wrap up to it, and it's like if I was talking to this about this with Jake, and it's if I could describe Arcane season 2 in one word, that word is distracted.
Yes, it wants to do 7 quadrillion things at once.
You just turned this fucking middle lane into a war zone.
Oh, 1,000,000%. I figured this would be a good way to end it.
So, yeah, distracted.
You stopped sharing your screen, but I put 5v5 in a single lane.
So well, it's because League of Legends is like a fucking old ass app. It's the game and then the launcher to actually start the game are completely fucking different.
Yeah.
So it
really
constantly
stupid.
breaks the screen sharing aspect of Discord. But
Mhm.
so the reason I say distracted is because I want each of you to really think of the events of season 2 ever since the rocket was fired at the council chambers in Piltover. What all happened in the show?
Jace, Echo, and Heimer got teleported across the multiverse.
I was hoping you'd go in order, but okay.
No.
No.
This is funner this way.
Caitlyn and Vi had Sesby and Lex, while a child went kaboom kablamo. Then there's Vander, who is also a werewolf and is trying to remember who he is, but actually Victor's here trying to be God or whatever on his Jesus quest. And then you have a potential complete and utter takeover of Piltover by Mel's mom. And then, anyways, Jace comes back from the future to try and stop Victor from trying to take over the world. And that's what it's like watching Arcane season 2.
All right,
Yeah, no.
so to give
he
that more
basically did it.
to give a more focused thing, we have
Never.
the invasion of Zon by the Piltover enforcers. We have the Noxian enforcement as well. The Jace Heimerdinger multiversal travel, along with just going in the future. And also amongst all of this, while exploring the multiverse and the future, decided to go down the emotional rabbit hole of Vi and Jinx, Vander, and then ended it with a end of the fucking world threat. Anyone who would be trying to do this type of stuff, you would need to do multiple seasons to build up to that threat. Like if whoops, I didn't mean to recall. If you're going to do that, essentially Victor is the ultimate threat. Everyone you need to unite together. Piltover, Zahn, like the Chem Barons, all of that kind of stuff. There needs to be more for that. Like, and that's not what we got. It was incredibly rushed and tried to compact every single aspect that would later like to be the biggest advertisement for League of Legends that they could get at the time. And they blew it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens when you remove most of your writing staff. Because then,
You have
yes, like a good, like, what was it? Jake, you brought this to my attention. It was how, like, a good few of the writers were just fucking gone.
Yeah, I think it was like I think only one of the writers from season one stayed on, and then I think the people who supervised it were also writing it. I could be wrong on that though. So, but yeah, but they cut down their writing staff because I guess the writing strike did that. But like, did you pay them more?
Sorry, I don't know if you're seeing this way, but this is why Singe is one of my favorite characters.
No, I'm seeing it in your weird little Bane outfit.
No, like I literally put fart gas on the ground and then I just throw people around the fucking thing. I throw them into the fart gas and then I run away. I'm out. I get kills.
I've just crop dusted you. Choke on the ass gas.
A little bit. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like
I
this is
don't-
all we really could say. I think I'm still curious to see what they do with the other properties that are in Runeterra because like there is potential for
even-
really good shit there, but
Are we
man,
even gonna get them by this point? Because the tide
they've
is turning.
they have confirmed that like they're going to be doing other shows. I think it's been like confirmed that Noxus is the next one.
Like Arcane season 2 was a success. Like regardless
Yes.
of its shit quality, it was successful.
People are fucking you are right. There are people going, yeah, what the fuck is this garbage?
Yeah, like people's opinions are slowly but turning. Like Jake and I were noticing, like, as we were looking at memes to just see public opinion, and there was, you know, that drawing of the horse. It's like shows the various quality where it shows like this beautifully drawn horse for season 1, and then for season 2 it's like a stick figure drawing.
Yeah, but I have seen people fucking praising it, and there is one
Yeah.
particular YouTuber that I really respect, and he loved it. So
You talking about Bricky?
yeah,
I haven't
Well,
watched.
well,
Well,
he loves it.
yeah. Didn't, like, when on a Dragon's Den, didn't we fucking rip? Didn't we rip Bricky's video apart, Jake?
it's less about ripping Bricky's video apart and more about me snapping because he just wasn't fucking saying anything. Remember, it was literally just explaining the plot, saying the thing that he liked, and he liked that it happened, and then not elaborating on why he liked it.
Refuses to elaborate, leaves.
Yeah.
So,
it's like,
so yeah, that's Arcane season 2.
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty
Any
bad.
final thoughts for the casual, if you're still here?
No, I'm good.
Slayer, anything?
I think we covered all of the most important parts.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, or just the Baldur's Gate video is still going. I need to release our Baldur's Gate response thing.
You do, yes.
Let's because, like, for some reason the thumbnail is impossible for all of our artists to make.
Then do it yourself.
Radamir.
So
Yeah,
thank you
I
all
thought
so
got
much.
Okay, we'll talk about this after.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can talk
well,
about
thank you
this
so
after.
much
Anyway,
for watching.
bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.